on the air. Hey, we're joining you here from, what is this, the northwest side of Chicago, Jack?
Yes, it is, sir.
And Jack, you and I had the same experience getting here. There was a moment where I didn't think we could get here from where I was coming from.
No, we were here, and then I saw the number 80, Jonathan Ijimakin. I said, what country are we in? And he said, I live up here. This is awesome. Great. So we are here somewhere on the north side.
Yeah, we are at Taft High School, Chicago Public League Week 9 matchup between your Whitney Young Dolphins and the Taft Eagles. We've got about 20 minutes remaining on the clock here. It is senior night for Taft. So Taft is coming into this game 2-6. Whitney Young 7-1 right now. Coach Zach Elder out on the field. I think they're going to do some pregame introductions of their seniors. Jack, we still have heart palpitations from last week's 17-14 win over Amundsen.
What a great win! The doctors came through for a Dr. Luze, especially.
Yeah, that was big time, and I think tonight is a little bit of the same thing in that Amundsen rolled into that game, really backs against the wall. Maybe you could look at records, but it was really one of those games where you could throw all of that out once they got between the lines, and that was the kind of game we had last week. And quite frankly, that's what I expect tonight. It's like you can look at the record of Taft, and you can say, these guys have it packed in. But I watched their film the last 2 weeks. They lost a really tough game last week, 21-20 to Lincoln Park, where they got out in a hurry, and we'll see guys. The name you'll hear a bunch tonight, Diesel McFadden, number 0. We've been calling his name for 4 years.
4 years. Yes.
He's heading down to Illinois State. He was an all CPL edge rusher. They've got another guy that rushes off the edge, number 49, Malik Muhammad. And those guys are going to put it on the field tonight for Taft, regardless of what the record is, especially given it's their last game. I mean, they don't have playoffs in front of them. Dolphins, on the other hand, big playoff maybe not implications. I mean, they will down the line, right? So the Dolphins are in IHSA Class 8 right now, and they're in. They were hanging around like the 10 seed. Lincoln Way East, we'll talk about it a little bit at halftime. Lost last night. They're without Jonas Williams right now. So we might be in the 9th seeding spot, and we'll talk about some of the possible scenarios. But quite frankly, it's one of those things that you just wait until Saturday night at 8. You turn on the U.
We're going to be tuning in tomorrow night and turn into the U to see who we play.
Yeah, you're going to have a big party. You're having a big watch party.
Anyone listening, come on over on Montana Street.
All right.
Welcome to join.
Yeah, Wildermoose tailgate party for bye week in the Big Ten and the SEC. Their teams are on bye, so we'll be watching for that. And then again, scenarios on this stuff as far as where Chicago Public League playoffs play out. We'll talk about that as well. I had a chance to catch up with Coach Finger earlier this week, so let's get to that interview. He actually spent a little bit of time with me, and we kind of walked through both the Amundsen game last week as well as some of the big performances there, also some of the big performances that he's getting from all of his seniors right now. So let's join Coach Finger, and then we'll jump back on after the interview.
All right, I'm joined with head coach Dan Finger. Coach Finger, my heart was racing last Friday night, senior night. Great game against Amundsen. You had a senior cap it off the end with Yoni Luze hitting that field goal. Tell us about what went up to that, and then your emotions through it all.
Yeah, I mean, my heart was racing too. Amundsen does a really nice job with their special teams. They blocked field goals of ours in the past. Obviously, last year it came down to the kicking game, and we had, really experienced unit there with Solomon and Van Barrett and Vaughn. At the end of the fourth quarter, we had a shot where we thought about running Yoni out. I think it was 4th and 10 from the 19 or so, which would have been 36. And I thought it was a little too long, and then, and then I was worried about them blocking the extra point when we tied it. So we had a discussion about going for 2 there and decided to kick it, and didn't hesitate really to send him out there in overtime. We knew we were playing with house money, having gotten defense first, but the way he drilled it, absolutely drilled it, and I probably should have sent him out there for the 36-yarder earlier, because that was from 29, and I think that would have been good from 40, and so he did a great job. And if you come out to practice any day of the week, while we're doing pre-practice, Yoni's kicking, and guys are kind of razzing him and trying to distract him and everything, and I encourage it, because we want him to be calm and collected in those moments and just drill it. And I think Tim Edwards had the best snap of his life on that one, and Vaughn had a perfect hold, and Yoni absolutely drilled it. And that pressure moment is hard to simulate in practice, but guys did a great job blocking too, and we came out with a hard-fought W there, having not played our best or coached our best or any of that. But when you got a kicker who's cool under pressure like that, sometimes none of that matters.
All right, very good. Let's talk about another senior. At the beginning of the year, I think Media Day, I talked about making the Z great again. It's kind of sometimes a forgotten position in the a receiving position in the Dolphin offense. Sheldon Williams last week 2 weeks ago saw a bunch of targets. Then this past week came in with some big catches. One touchdown, maybe not ruled a touchdown on field, but a great catch, and then a great catch late in the fourth quarter in a really key situation. Talk about his progression through the year.
Yeah, I mean, it starts, he's a great blocker. And so he if you look at Max's touchdown run, if you look at Rayton's touchdown catch, they're right at the point of attack is Sheldon, and he's blocking his butt off. And that's how he gets on the field first, right? You only get so many targets as a receiver. I think the most a guy might get is 10, let's say, but he's on the field for 40 to 50 plays. So what are you doing those other ones? And the Z route, the Z receiver in particular, runs a lot of what we call like love of the game routes, where we're going to see that he's wide open on film, but he's never the first read. He's working his butt off on an outside release to get somebody else open. In a lot of our flood concepts, our vertical concepts, and then we try and feature them in some of the other ones, the hitches and the snags and stuff like that. But we saw on film that some of those love of the game routes, those fly routes to open up the underneath stuff, are actually going to be open, and we really like Sheldon's speed. He just ran a 0.93 10-yard fly on Tuesday, which is the best we've ever seen in the program. Laser timed, just really good stuff. And then knew he was going to win ball in the air battles with the DBs from Almason. Felt really comfortable with that. So credit to Vaughn for setting his feet and absolutely letting it rip on those deep ones, and then Sheldon just being patient and letting it come to him. And but it speaks to all those times he ran, and Amundsen saw it on film, and he didn't get it thrown to him, and so they thought they could kind of take it for granted, and Sheldon just trusted that, and then found a way to make the play when the time came. Right, we tell the kids all the time, and Sheldon's the perfect example of it. If you stay ready, you never have to get ready. So if you keep busting your butt on those routes, when the time comes, the ball's in the air, it's going to be all yours. And Sheldon's been a testament to keeping the faith through that process.
All right, very good. And we introduced 29 seniors, so we don't have time to go through all 29 right now, although both you and I would love to do that. I want to give, just at this point of the season, maybe a quick speed round on our 4 captains, just because, of course, they did what they did during the Amundsen game, but they've been doing what they've done all year long. So just want to hear your view, just a sentence or two on all 4 of those guys.
Yeah, it's, starting with MJ Woods is just really grown up in front of our eyes. I forget he's still a year young, but this past week we moved him to a new position in overtime there, and in the last part of the fourth quarter, and he seemed to come up with a tackle for loss whenever we needed it, and just we love running behind him as a blocker, and he's just really violent in the trenches, and it's hard to replicate that. It's easy to follow a guy who's going to attack full speed, and as I played with a couple guys like that, and I know MJ's teammates really appreciate him leading with that violence. And then as far as Max goes, I think that was his most violent running game this past week, and it was really good to see because he's got that in him all the time, and his speed is so dynamic that it's tempting to just run around people. But when you can show guys that you're not just going to run around them, but you can step into somebody and run through people on kick return, on outside runs, on inside runs, on all sorts of plays. That just opens up another level, and guys love blocking for you now. If you're not just going to get two-hand touch down to the ground, it can be really hard to block for you, right? If you're just going down at the first contact. But if you're going to break 3 or 4, guys are going to block through the whistle. Guys are going to get excited to block downfield. Guys aren't going to turn around and watch you. They're going to keep driving forward, and it's going to open up that next level run game for us. Von Conrad, we were just talking about him off air here, but just a guy who never gets any of the credit, but gets so much put on his plate, and you as a parent of a former Whitney Young quarterback can appreciate it, but I don't think anybody else really can. He makes a great throw or a great run or takes a big shot and constructs a touchdown drive. Well, he doesn't get to run off with his teammates and get some water. He's got to go hold the kick. He's got to come off the field. He's immediately got the iPad in his hands. He's immediately getting told everything he did wrong on that drive. He's immediately getting thrown. We're going to run this. We're going to run this. We're going to run this. Hey, you need to tell the left tackle to do this next time. And he's got a million things going through his mind. And then when he gets out there, he's got to be cool, calm, and collected and get the ball to the playmakers and then not get a whole lot of credit for that, right? Even if it's just a handoff. There's so much that he's got to remember going into the huddle, calling the play, getting the play clock, in his head, ready to go. And so he's just done a great job as a leader, as a senior. He was a great field general last year, but this year it's just another level. We can put so much more on his plate, and it makes coaching a lot easier and a lot more fun. So we're appreciative of that. And then Joe Gray is just your do-everything guy. He's just your coach, where do you need me, when do you need me, and how much do you need me? And then whatever we ask of him, he exceeds the expectations as a tackler, as a leader, as a ball carrier, getting some big-time carries on the game-tying drive last week. On special teams, he had a big kick return last week in a position we'd never put him in, but had a feeling they were going to kick it there. And so we're like, you know what, Joe, here's a way we can steal a touch for you. And he just learns it and masters it and then pushes people around to be better. I think that's one thing that maybe you don't see as a fan, but everybody who's involved in our program is touched by Joe and his leadership. As a coach, I can say that. He just pushes everybody to be better with his energy, with his words, with his actions, and that's something that really can't be replicated or replaced or even probably described, as you're probably listening to me sort of ramble on about it. But it's just been really cool to see him grow into that. He was a kid who was a player right away and an avid, learner and wanted to be physical and all that stuff. But now he's the leader, and to see that get passed down to younger guys is really, really cool. And I'm grateful I get it for at least a couple more weeks here.
All right, very good. Heading up to Taft this week, always a tough environment. They haven't had they've had a tough year, and I'm sure that beating us would be their Chicago Public League Championship at this point. So what are you expecting on Friday night?
They're always going to be physical. They're always going to be pretty well coached. We know they were struggling with some injuries earlier this year, so that record isn't 100% reflective of the team that's going to face us on Friday. So we got to come ready to go. They're going to have some tricks up their sleeves. Senior day, they've got a great group of seniors that we've been battling with for the past few years. I think split the freshmen and we lost their freshman year and got them last year and that sophomore year, but they're going to be looking to even the score here, and they're going to be physical. They're going to run the ball a lot with big number 0. I'll be glad when he's graduated and gone, because he's been tough to deal with on both sides of the ball for the past 4 years. And then number 3, their quarterback can sling a little bit. They're really confident running their flood concepts and their sprint out passes, but we're looking forward to the challenge. I love that environment that's up there. It's the toughest place we've had to play in CPS, I'd say. That eagle cawing or screeching or whatever you say is going to be awfully loud. But we've got the band music going at practice this week, and we're excited to see how we do in the environment.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Go Dolphins.
Thanks. Go Dolphins.
All right, so that was Coach Finger giving us the assessment. And again, back to the size of this program overall. I mean, they're still introducing. I don't even think they've gotten to. They're just getting to the players now. They just got through. The band and the training staff. And, I remember the first game that I saw Taft Whitney Young, and that was the game 4 years ago.
Fall of 21.
Yeah, yep. And to come up here, sellout crowd. It was their homecoming night. You see all the coaches had their Ditka Taft sweater vests on the sidelines, and so it's a great environment to play in, and people are filling in here. There's a lot of tailgating that goes on out here. It's definitely the dominant school in the area, in the neighborhood. So Coach Finger touched on a lot of the things. Again, I looked at a longer term on Taft. I mean, Coach Zach Elder's been here. This is his 5th season. They've been to the state playoffs in 3 of those seasons. Again, they won't be going this year, but this is their big-time game tonight. Diesel McFadden was mentioned a couple times early on by me as well as by Coach Finger. We're going to see a lot of him. He runs a lot between the tackles, so he's definitely getting fed the ball this year. A little different than in past years when he was rotating with some other guys in the backfield. One of those guys, Steven Carrera. I actually ran into Steven's mom on the way in Dallas. Steven is up at UW Whitewater playing up there, and when we had a long string of running backs at Taft. Let's talk about a running back at Whitney Young. And by the way, Jack, we kind of jumped on air a little bit early here. We need a proper fins up call here.
So happy to be here. Random Lake, Wisconsin to Taft Eagles. A really maybe as good a Friday Night Lights environment as you get in the Chicago Public League, but not tonight. Not tonight, Eagles, because the Dolphins are going to get our fins up and beat the Eagles.
All right. Again, Dolphins come in here off of that big win last week against Amundsen. That was Coach Finger's 45th career win. He's got a .657 winning percentage. Dolphins have been to the state playoffs in 4 of the 5 eligible years under Coach Finger. Dolphins, real balanced offense. I was looking more at the stats this week. Dolphins are averaging 289 yards per game. 154 of those passing yards, 134 rushing. So really getting that balance. And again, that's some of that senior leadership, right? So on the passing side of the ball, and I have to say, I ran into Paul Conrad after the game last week. And, you know, I talked to Paul maybe 2 years ago 2 or 3 years ago at the banquet. And we were talking about having a kid as a quarterback. And I said, you know, one of the things you have to realize when your kid is the quarterback, that they always get more credit when you win, and they get more blame when you lose.
Sure.
And that's historically been the case for quarterbacks at every level, except I got to say, I think Vaughn Conrad is a guy who over this run the last 2 years when he's been the quarterback and literally the team, because again, he didn't start in the Prep Bowl last year, he only has 2 losses. So the kid has 19 wins and 2 losses in his high school varsity career as a starter.
12-1 and 7-1. That's pretty good percentage.
Yep, absolutely. And we've seen Vaughn just grow up. Coach Finger talked about how last year was more of like, hey, he was a game manager. You know, they didn't need him. It was the balance. It was more. Actually, we had twice as many rushing as passing yards last year behind Yolich and Max Warner. This year, you see that balance, and you look at Vaughn's stats for the year. Over 1,200 yards passing, 18 touchdowns. For his career, he's over 2,200 yards passing with 26 touchdowns. Again, those 18 touchdowns, only 5 turnovers. If we want to talk about, and I think they're still working on introductions
I don't know.
here.
Jerry, as we talked about last week, we have somewhere between 19 and 54 seniors. We don't know the exact number. It's a lot. I think they have even more.
Yeah.
I don't see how we're going to make this kickoff.
No, we may not because they haven't gone out yet. But we've got plenty of things to talk about. We're having fun. And the horns are beeping, an ambulance, things are going off. There's definitely a lot of fun in the stands here.
I think 100 seniors.
Yep, and it's that way every year. I mean, again, I think this is a program that has a varsity team, a JV team, a freshman team, and really strong program. Again, you think back to Carrera up at Whitewater now.
Yeah.
They had Michael Barretto and Greg Krupo were their linemen. Both those guys are playing at Truman College. They put a lot of guys. I think, actually, if you go all the way back, I think Dick Grabowski was a graduate of Taft. They have those kind of guys in their legacy, so definitely a football school. But Dolphins, again, trying to turn that around tonight. Wins over Taft the last couple years. There was a nice, Vaughn just led him to a nice pass down in the end zone.
Unusual drop.
Max Warner coming in tonight. 834 yards on the season. The chosen one, 8.3 yards per carry and the 13 touchdowns. Warner, if you look over his career, over 1,600 yards rushing and 22 rushing touchdowns. And again, he's well over 2,000 in total yards between what he has run for, what he has received, what he's done on kickoff returns, what he's done on interception returns. I'm looking for a big night from Max Warner tonight. Might be a little bit of a slog early on. Just there is some size out of this Taft defense, but I think just like last week, they hung with it, And so I think at halftime, Max had 7 carries for 16 yards, but still ended up close to 90 or over 90 on the night. And it might be a little bit of that tonight as well. When you look at Taft, again, what you're going to see from Diesel McFadden is running between the tackles. I mean, they just kind of grind in between the tackles, try to pick up yards, first down, second down. Their quarterback, Roman, he's been around for a while as well. Logan Roman. I think he started against us as a sophomore. So, like as Coach Finger said, he can sling it a little bit. So they got a little bit of size there. I think the keys for the Dolphins, and we'll get more insightful keys maybe that you got, and then I'll throw my amateur keys in after that.
Well, Barry Newman, one of the favorite parts of the fans love the Bennett Newman keys to the game. Down there in B-Town, that's what they call it down there, B-Town, Bloomington, Indiana.
B-Town.
They are undefeated, number 2 in the nation. They are hosting the UCLA Bruins tomorrow at a 9 a.m. Pacific kickoff. So there's good advantage.
Yeah.
They get the big noon coming in. So I talked to Bennett down there in Bloomington. Keys to the game, and I think you already meant it was VK5. And the quarterbacks have been able to do some damage against this Taft team. In particular, Lincoln Park was the example that he gave. So both on the ground, you've seen there's such a key on the chosen one, our SEC running back. A little play action or a little read option can really work for VK5. And also through the air, making his connection, that 5-2 connection. Also the Riz Zombie. 5-11, so those are the numbers. If I'm playing the lottery and I'm going 5-5-11, maybe a little 5-16, Sheldon Williams. Also on defense, and not surprisingly, contain the Diesel. Diesel McFadden, I believe, is committed to Illinois State Redbirds.
Yep, he sure is.
So contain the Diesel. So those are the keys to the game, brought to you by your Chicago area Ferrari dealers.
Yeah, so maximize those possessions. Mentioned a little bit last week, the Dolphins right now plus 13 in turnover ratio. And some of that's because we've been taking the ball away. Some really good fumble recovery numbers, also interceptions. But the bigger part of that in the numerator and the denominator, I think we would be the denominator. Only 5 interceptions all year from Conrad, 1 fumble, and that was in sort of cleanup duty down at Perspectives.
Only had 1 fumble this year. That's amazing.
So stay clean tonight, right? Stay clean tonight. Don't turn the ball over. Maximize those possessions. We saw, with Yoni Luze, kick some extra points and also had the field goal. So, I will mention this, and to the special teams part of things, last week, Alex Furtek, Alex Furtek, number 1 wide receiver, junior for Taft, took the kickoff, I think the second quarter. Oh, well, they don't have a second quarter kickoff. It was after, I was going to say second half, but it was, all that scoring was in the first half. So I think it was after a Lincoln Park touchdown in the first half. Furtek took a 90-yarder, kind of fumbled it to start with, and then just went straight south. Touchdown against Lincoln Park. So you want to be aware of that as well. So don't give away any possessions on turnovers, and then make your special teams play, which has been solid all year, right? I mean, that's been good, both the kicking and then also the punting. Last week we went into that game and said, hey, we only had 2 punts. I actually didn't look back. I think we had 3 punts last week from Sean Miller, and he did a nice job on all of those. And all the way back to, again, Coach Finger on that open talked about it was a great snap from Tim Edwards to Vaughn Conrad on that game-winning field goal. And in high school football, you can never, ever, ever take those things for granted.
That operation is so key, and Coach Finger's edge has been on special teams historically, and last week was no exception.
Look over on the defensive side of the ball. Big, and Coach Finger said they moved MJ Woods on the defensive line, moved him over a slot. I didn't ask for a lot of the details on that, but if you think about that Amundsen game, they got a big run on first down in the overtime, and then MJ made a huge tackle.
He really did.
On the second down, and I think on third down, it was Barsma that did a really nice job of forcing that action inside and getting the stop, and also getting the stop on that far right hash mark that you talked about. And their kicker, although really, really skilled, that angle, doinked it off the upright. So Woods leading the defense, along with Logan Lopez, double L. Those guys have got 5 sacks each. Woods also coming into today with 9.5 tackles for loss. Rayton Scottmere, the Riz Zombie, added 6.5 tackles for loss, and Dylan Paracchini with 6 tackles for loss as well. We got a good story out of Jane Hu this week on the Riz Zombie.
The Riz Zombie.
So Rayton was the Riz God for a week, and I think he is still a Riz God, but then he is also Riz Zombie. So Rayton, and if you've tuned in with us over the years, you know that my professional football loyalties are with the Green Bay Packers, and Rayton's are as well. So he started dressing up as the Jay Cutler Zombie.
Number 6 in a Bears jersey.
And his dad had a great story about it that they sent our way. So pretty cool. So last week they with the big heads that they had out there, Rayton's zombie monster was out there. So we've got the colors being presented here at Taft. So we'll jump off air. We'll stay on air, but we'll tone ourselves down as the colors are presented, and we'll get to the national anthem, and after that we'll have some Dolphins and Eagles football. Wow.
That was beautiful.
That was awesome. I'm not sure that you could pick that up so much at home, but awesome guitar. At first, I thought they were playing like a Jimi Hendrix, the national anthem, but it was a student here at Taft that was playing. Sort of had a Hendrix / Joe Satriani.
I was there, and the little maybe James Hetfield, Metallica. He played that before one of the Golden State games in the final. So yeah, that was cool.
Very, very cool. And again, great atmosphere here. We're in the parent section, which is good. The student section is down off to our right, and it's sort of funny. We keep talking about the atmosphere. They have these very small bleachers over on the other side for Whitney Young. So you're probably all saying to us, like, "What are you talking about? This is like some crazy atmosphere." But it is on this side of the field.
Those bleachers are decently new. It used to be. Yeah. I remember standing outside the fence at a game. We couldn't even. They had no place for us to sit.
Yeah, and I gotta give another shout out at the beginning, because last time we were here 2 years ago, also week 9, and we had a bunch of rain that night. And our camera guy Remy, I had him set up. I had rigged up this tent that we had him in, which was crazy that he even went in there, because it was this tent that had a bunch of Home Depot buckets and some plywood, and then like a sideline tent from a soccer field up there.
MacGyver tent.
It was MacGyvered up. And all the equipment came home safely. Dolphins came home with a win that night. But I want to give a shout out again back to my guy Nate Diaz. So it was also a call went out from Coach Finger to say, hey, how many tents can we get to this game? Thinking that on the sideline they were going to have some challenges. So we brought out a bunch of tents. And I remember walking from the far parking lot with my daughter. We had all these weights, like all these dumbbell weights, because it was really windy that night as well.
Yeah.
So it was like doing these farmer's carries. So first of all, my daughter is much stronger than I am, so she carried those over. But then we sort of left them with Nate. We left him with like 5 tents, and we're like, Nate, I got to go set up the live stream. Can you set these up? So Nate just like on his own, just fired up like 5 tents over on the sideline. Also, as we're talking at the top here, there's a Diaz family connection because on the other side of the field, Wesley Janau, I think I got that right, Jason Perez. Wesley is a junior running back and linebacker. He's Jason's cousin, and I remember him actually helping us out a little bit after the game in setting some stuff up. So right now we got the captains out there. Captains for Taft. You got Roman as the starting quarterback, number 3. You got number 5, Dean Parker. Saw him make some nice plays in those Bulls and Taft games. Looks like Eagles are going to receive. Dolphins won the toss. Eagles are going to receive. Of course, the captains that Coach Finger talked about on the top of the broadcast for Whitney Young, Vaughn Conrad, VK5, Maxwell Warner, number 1, the chosen one, MJ the Bull Woods, and Joseph Gray. What's Joseph Gray?
Football player
Joseph Gray.
21.
So Taft going to receive the ball here. We're within the neighborhood of the predicted start time on this. So we'll see if the Dolphins can get off to a fast start here. I think we'll see where so back deep to receive. Looks like number 1. So he's the kid that took it back for a touchdown last week against Lincoln Park. So that's Alex Furtek, number 1. And also back deep, Dean Parker, number 5, also a captain on the squad. We'll see if we got Bardsma out, if he still thinks kicking is cool.
I wonder if Miles thinks kicking is cool. I don't think he has senioritis yet.
No, actually, I caught up with Miles a little bit at practice on Tuesday, and talking to him, he definitely wants to play next year. Mentioned that he has been in contact with Fordham, been in contact with Illinois State as well. Bardsma will do the kickoff tonight.
Join Diesel McFadden down there.
Yep, exactly. I think that I think ISU is talking to a number of our guys. I think Spellers and MJ Woods. I think MJ maybe did a visit there the other week.
So Dolphin kickoff team has been great this year. The inside guys run down the field. The Truth, Josiah Purnell. Agent Zero, John Spellers. We also have Brian Pantoya in the mix. 42, Kendall Lynham. 4, Jacob Wildermuth. 31 is
Jameer Spencer.
Jameer Spencer on the team. At 20,
don't forget the dinger.
The dinger.
Here's Bardsma. Kicks it to the far side.
Get there.
at the 25. Spellers ran by him, but
tackle.
good. Niven Hinkle.
Oh, yeah.
And
Pod
then
of
a
Dolphins.
big old pod to start with.
Big old pod of
inside the
Dolphins.
30. Logan Lopez in on that.
Like sending a message early right on the Eagles sideline.
Looks like a flag is down at the end of that, so we'll see what that is. These games can be somewhat spirited, I have to say, through the years. A lot of some jawing, some friendly banter down on the field. It's Taft. I think. We'll save that for later. Let's see. So it was a penalty against the Dolphins. I don't know if that was that a 15-yarder right off the get-go? Let's see. So they're setting it at the 28, just a 5-yarder. I don't know what that was. I missed what the call was, but Taft will start off. Taft at the 33-yard line.
So strength of the team, 21 football player, Joseph Gray, 11, the Riz Zombie. Outside linebackers, double L, Logan Lopez. The truth, Josiah Purnell. 3.
All right, Roman waiting for the snap. He's got McFadden behind him. There's the run up the middle by McFadden. He gets ahead of steam. Got Joseph football player Gray, and looks like DeRoss up from his safety position. So again, that's what they'll try to do. They will run him between the tackles. They will try to get ahead of the sticks early in the downs. They do it there with about a 6-yard pickup to the 39.
Got 52 MJ the Bull in 55, a little
big country.
Big country in there.
Alex Oshevsky in on the nose, and I think that nose tackle position is important because that's where they like to run. They like to run in that A gap with McFadden. Even they'll show you a few different formations here, but a lot of times McFadden, the big guy in the back, waiting. Roman, the quarterback. Oh, it looks like their receiver started early. So that was Furtek. I think there actually was a pass play on there, and Roman had made a little look over to Furtek, and he took off.
He was gone. I would like to see that just as just a race between the chosen one, number one versus number one.
Yeah, yep.
I like our chances on that one.
Yeah. I mean, Furtek definitely looked good on the kickoff return against Lincoln Park. He was just north and south. It kind of reminded me like of a Will DeMille. Like the dude wasn't going to make a cut. He was just going to go straight.
That's why he leads the country in yards per reception. 72 yards per reception.
There's McFadden trying to bounce it out. Good pursuit. Got the truth in there.
Bennett DeRoss flying up, changes direction.
Also, Hinkle, I think, starting at that other safety position.
We do have 26 Nevin Hinkles.
Yeah, so Hinkle in over Sheldon Williams right now, but otherwise your typical starters.
Our lockdown corners are 2.
Yep, so that
Barsma.
Third down.
1, chosen 1.
So we'll see again. You want to force these guys into passing downs. You're going to go with 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Roman in the backfield, waiting for the snap. He's got McFadden next to him. They also like to do some some screens to McFadden right up the middle. We'll see if we want to do that. No, he's going downfield. Overshoots his receiver. He's trying to get it out to Tim Ho.
Well covered by Dolphin secondary.
So punt team is going to roll on. We'll see Roman is also their punter and place kicker. So in addition to doing his quarterback duties, Bennett DeRoss heading back for the punt, lining up at the 30. Roman standing at about his 20-yard line. I think you could probably move up a little bit, Bennett. Although I thought Roman ripped off a couple good ones against Bulls Prep when I saw that game. That was a 16-0 win for the Eagles 2 weeks ago. Good snap. Roman off to his right.
Good punt.
And punts is probably getting out. Just checks up at 35 and down at the 36-yard line. Little Aussie-style punt from the Taft Eagle.
Staying mobile. So we do have our weather report tonight, Barry, brought to you by Paul Conrad and the Paul Conrad Singers. Moving into holiday mode, go see them with Mannheim Steamroller, along with a lot of schnitzel. Chicago Theater, November 21st through December 3rd. It's 45 degrees, clear, filtered sunshine, and with the crescent moon and the dew point is 41 degrees.
All right, so we got Conrad, Warner next to him. Conrad back to pass. Conrad looking deep. He's got a receiver out there. Bardsma just couldn't get to it. I think Bardsma, let's see, might, I think he got a little dinged up on that. I don't know if it was his shoulder when he hit the ground.
He had him there.
Yeah, yep. Had a little too much enthusiasm.
A little too much pop. He realized the dew point is right where we need it, and his dad told him that. And with the filtered sunshine, that's a little too fired up. But it's a great night here up on the north side.
Yeah, it's great.
Look at the number of seniors. They might beat us. They have 104 seniors.
They definitely do. 2nd and 10, just starting here. There's a little pitch over to Warner. Warner trying to get the corner.
Max.
Good pursuit over on the side. Warner going to lose a couple, I think, on that. Looked like the pursuit coming over there from Dominguez. So, again, the defensive guys to watch. 0 is Diesel McFadden, and 49 is Malik Muhammad. Muhammad was a second-team Chicago Public League guy, so he's the edge rusher on the right side. McFadden, the edge rusher on the left.
Like for a little Riz zombie in the slot here.
Dolphins, there's Riz Zombie. Scott Meir in motion to the top side. Give to Warner. Warner with a burst up the middle. Warner is going to take this to the house.
The
chosen one hit the accelerator and left 11 Eagles in the dust.
A lot of eye candy in the backfield there. Just quick hit. The chosen one.
What do you want to do on 3rd and long? Why don't we give the ball to the guy that's going to Missouri next year? D1 speed.
SEC
Maxwell Warner. Wow. From the 35-yard line, that would be a 65-yard touchdown run. All right, get the special teams unit on here. Luze on, Dr. Luze. Edwards to Conrad to Luze. Kick is good. And the Dolphins go up early here at Taft with the 65-yard touchdown run from the chosen one, Maxwell Warner.
Yeah, what a play. 3rd and 10. Just go ISO.
Yeah.
Off center and guard. And then I was cheering a little bit too loudly.
We are who we are, Jack. Although we do not have armed security guards. We may have to ask some parents from the Whitney Young sideline to come over here a little bit later. Maybe somebody out of the Maxwell Warner posse could help us out.
Well, the Dolphins, we were allotted 200 tickets to this game. I was worried that we were going to be short, but I think we bought just about that number.
All right, so Bardsma on to kick off. We got Furtek and Parker back deep to receive. We just went through the list. I don't know if we got to Kendall Lynham, and you got Pintoja the last time down.
There,
so
the dinger.
Yep. Bardsma.
Joseph Gray, football player on the kickoff
foot
team.
Into it. It's heading over to Parker. Parker looking for something, not getting it because Joseph Gray, football player, says football players play special teams too.
Yes, they do. Yeah, our kickoff team has been really strong this year, and good to see that continues against the Eagles. And Big Country coming in at the nose. I always like to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, again, getting some stops early on here. And it was helpful on the penalty because that first possession, was a first run was like a 6 or 7 yarder, 6-7, and then they had the penalty that put him back 5. McFadden to Roman's right. There's the give to McFadden. He's working his way. Spellers and Logan Lopez in on the stop. Couple yard gain there. It's 8:21 here in the first quarter, just underway on the northwest side of Chicago. Again, Week 9 Chicago Public League action. Dolphins come in at 7-1. Eagles come in at 2-6. We will talk at halftime a little bit how the Chicago Public League stacks up right now from a standings perspective. Big game this weekend will be Morgan Park against Simeon. Roman, quarterback. McFadden to his right. He's got 2 receivers top. He's looking top. He's got a completion. Stopped out there by football player and Rayton Scottmere. I think kind of lined him in on that tackle. It was a completion to Elian Torres.
Yeah, nice
senior wide
play
receiver
by the Eagles. Of course, the Dolphins are focused on zero McFadden, so a nice little variation.
Yep, so Rowan completes that pass out to the side. 3rd and 1. Ball at the 33-yard line. Probably has it down with McFadden written all over it. Motion man to the top. There's the give to McFadden. He hammers it up the middle. Brought down. 1st down. Minimal gain, but
42, a little dinged up here in that corner.
Actually, I saw Kendall. He was limping a little bit on that previous play, so I think maybe got dinged on that. That is down. Sam, the trainer, coming out to take a look at him. Coach Finger coming out as well. I think it's always a little tough. I think that game back in 21, I recall having like some bus difficulties getting up here. It's just not easy in rush hour traffic to get yourself from Whitney Young up to Taft. But I remember that. I remember being here and like the first bus got here, but the second bus didn't get here until game time. Dolphins were a little late in arriving, but maybe by plan, knowing that it was senior night and all those guys were going to be introduced before.
No, it's always interesting. That I was behind the bus. It pulled into what should have been the parking lot, and then they were stopped, and the Dolphins were led into the street. That had to be on purpose. They had to walk a good couple hundred yards to get here.
Yeah, it was a little strange because they have the big parking lot here, and eventually maybe it opened up. Maybe I was here before they opened that parking lot. But when I got here, it was just this closest parking lot is the tailgate lot, and they can fire up some tailgates here at Taft.
Some really good ones.
Yeah, it's fun. I just ended up parking on the street and walking on over.
I had to park at O'Hare.
Well, there's big parking lots there. So 1st down for the Eagles. 3 receivers to the right. McFadden in the backfield with Roman. Waiting for the snap. There's a snap. Looking right. Hits his receiver on his feet across the 50-yard line. Tackled out there by Hinkle. But that was a good pitch and catch. Roman connecting with Tim Lekowski, a sophomore. So came out of the slot. Overloaded that side and got it out of his hand in a hurry. I mean, Roman can sling it. I mean, where he has had some challenges the last few weeks is that sometimes he almost tries to make too much happen and ends up taking some long sacks. But I think Taft Eagle coaching staff, Zach Elder, making sure that he's getting the ball out of his hands in a hurry. 2 receivers, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. McFadden in the backfield. That's a give to McFadden. McFadden gets to the edge. McFadden picks up close to 1st down. I think a 1st down, yep. A 1st down across the 35-yard line. So Eagles on the drive here.
Dolphins rotating in some defensive linemen. The Big Evil checking out, and we have...
So Woods, Oshesky, and Spellers in on that D-line. Couple 1st downs here, 3 1st downs here for Taft on this drive. Roman, the quarterback, senior quarterback, gives to the senior running back. Stopped immediately in the backfield. Oshesky, the truth, in on that tackle.
Yeah, early penetration by the Bull on that one as well.
So MJ, again, came in leading the team in sacks, tied with Logan Lopez in sacks, leading the team in tackles for loss. That Tony won't give him a tackle for loss, even though I think he lost like about 6 inches at least. But 2nd and 10.
The TFL Grinch, Tony McHale, our favorite Italian Irishman.
McHale is like he's in this neighborhood. We will see him later. 2 receivers bunched to the bottom. Roman looking that way. Little short on the pass. Good coverage out there by Lopez. He was trying to hook up with Lekowski again, the sophomore, who he hit on a first down pitch and catch earlier in this possession.
Yeah, what kind of establishment would Tony McHale go to if he's Irish and also a godfather?
Yeah, I mean, what's the expression?
I don't
know. Drop the gun, pick up the take the Guinness.
That's right. I think there
take the corned beef.
That's that's right. You take your corned beef and Guinness, you trade it in for a nice Barolo.
Yeah. All right, I think this is 4-down territory probably for the Eagles. They're at the Dolphin 35. Roman waiting for the snap. He's got 2 receivers to his right. He's looking right.
Ooh, deflected
in the air, and then a big man caught
Agent Zero blast right through there.
Good job by Spellers.
And we did have a big man reception.
I don't know who ended up with that on the Taft line, but maybe on that. Well, and really, that's happened so fast. You think you want to knock that down, but their offensive lineman caught it, which ends up being a loss of about 10 yards, and it will bring on the punt unit here. So Rowan back in punt formation after that big 3rd down spot again. Yeah, Spellers blasting in there. The basketball player got that wingspan up there, batted the ball, and Taft on to punt for the second time tonight. Duras back deep, almost got in there on a punt block, but good roll for the Eagles. Going to roll all the way down to about the 10-yard line. So Roman did a good job of angling that off to the right-hand side, away from Duras.
Yeah, really good punt action. You don't see that many Aussie-style punters in the Chicago Public League, Barry.
Yeah, Roman does a little bit of everything. And I remember, again, he was a quarterback here his sophomore year. He started against us. Then I think he got hurt later on because we saw him in the last game of the regular season, and then it kind of struggled a little bit in the playoff game. I might be getting my years mixed up, but I think that's what it was. So he's Abad was their quarterback before that. Good quarterback. There's a good quarterback getting it out to good receiver. Scottmere on his feet. Scottmere still on his feet. Got hit a couple times. Rizgod not going to go down, though.
No, the Rizgod is also the Riz Zombie on Halloween week. A week from today's Halloween, so maybe he's the Riz God today. Next Friday, playoff action, maybe on Halloween.
Yeah, first round action next week. We'll be hosting that. I think that even with a loss tonight, Dolphins won't drop down into the bottom end of that 32-team bracket, I don't think. So probably hosting it, but we'll know more on that later. So first down pickup by Scottmere, 12-yard gain. There's Vaughn rolling to his right. Nice job of, Bardsma couldn't pull it in.
Yeah.
They moved the pocket nicely there, and Bardsma dragging across. Vaughn saw him, but couldn't make the connection. Bardsma either not happy about it, which could be the case, but I think he's also just, I think he might be struggling a little bit. We saw him on that first play of the game where it looked like he had some sort of maybe a shoulder issue or something like that. We'll see if he's going to shake that off. I think he will. The senior coming in here as one of the leading receivers on this team, along with Scottmere. Second down and 10. Conrad goes right back to Bardsma. Bardsma turning upfield, gets out of bounds around the 30-yard line, just shy of the 30. That'll bring up a third and short.
Connection we're going to need. So nice to see him go right back there. Miles is got to check out of the game. A little not looking quite right.
Yeah, I think it's his right arm is what I would guess, just the way he's moving right now. Again, Bardsma came in the year, 28 receptions for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's 3rd and 2 for the Dolphins. 3 receivers to the top.
82 Cam Brown, freshman, checking in.
All right. Warner in the slot right now. That ball's going to go to Scott Muir. Scott Muir
Get there,
looking for a
Ray.
hole.
Woo.
He gets sandwiched, but again, not even after that, he got hit by like 3 guys, but still, like just casually said, "Oh, I guess I'll go down." First down.
He's so tough.
Well, nice little pitch and catch. Again, we're looking on the offensive line. Looks like Adrian Del Villar is in there. MJ Woods, Big Country Oshesky.
54, 77,
Ben
Logan
Ben
Jones.
Miller in.
Ben Miller, 56, the 36.
So I think we haven't seen Pericini yet tonight. We'll have to keep an eye out to see if he's around. 2 trips to the left-hand side. Warner, inside handoff. Oh, no, Vaughn keeps
Keeper.
it. Not much going on there. Vaughn wrestled down by a whole bunch of guys from Taft. Look like number 90, Ethan Symbol in there.
Nice crisp night here on the north side. Fall weather. 2 minutes left here in a fast-moving first quarter.
Yep, Dolphins up 7-0 right now. Maxwell Warner with a 65-yard touchdown run on the Dolphins' first possession. 2 receivers to the top. Warner in the pistol behind Conrad. Looks like maybe a delay of game. I think a delay of game call on the Dolphins. So it's going to back it up 5 yards. Make that a 2nd and 15. I think Arlen Cooper now in the game. Number 88. Conrad rechecks in. We'll have to talk about game clock. It looks like this refereeing crew is going to be on it. Last week, Amundsen was using that game clock, and Tony McHale, when he was going through doing the stats, timed one of the plays took 59 seconds. There's Iakunle Espinosa Allen in the game.
33
There's a
baller.
give to Warner. Warner to the corner. Warner on his horse, out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
Wow.
Big pickup there on 2nd and 15. Picks up about 20. First down. First down for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Maxwell made a statement at the end of that run and did not get an unsportsmanlike, questionable unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on this one.
There were some words spoken on that one last week when he introduced himself on the sidelines to one of the Amundsen Vikings after a great 4th down run. 3 receivers to the left, single to the top. Conrad whips it into Scott Muir. Scott Muir,
zombie.
getting across the 45-yard line. Pickup of about 8 yards on that play. So good job, Conrad, getting that ball out in a hurry. Talked on the open about how this guy just doesn't. We're spoiled. As Dolphin fans, we're extremely spoiled over the last couple years by having Vaughn Conrad as a quarterback. His command of the game, his arm, he's not a big dude, but there you could see it. He can heat it up, man. Throws it with some velo, making some good decisions. There's a give to Warner. Warner wrestled down in the backfield. That was Muhammad in there right off the get-go. Muhammad, I looked on his X profile. Looks like he's been making some college visits again. I can definitely see that guy playing at the next level. That, my friends, is going to be the end of the first quarter. So 7-0 here. Dolphins again scoring on a 65-yard touchdown run by Max Warner. Taft had 2 first quarter possessions, both picked up some first downs on each of them, but ended up having to punt the ball away. And this is the 2nd possession for the Dolphins. Jack, I thought maybe you'd take the Wildermuth chopper out here tonight.
It would have been nice. It took me 50 minutes, 5-0 from Lincoln Park. It had to take the Dolphins a good hour.
Yep, I'm sure it was. I didn't check the schedule. Usually it's always fun to see, get out of classes at 9:45 and stretch and do other things like that. So, Dolphins here again, week 9.
Good positive Friday here at Taft. I did look, when we were here 4 years ago, they had twice the number of cheerleaders as we had players. I think we're about even up. We're about 70 to 70.
Yeah, I didn't look at enrollment on Taft. It's a pretty big school. I mean, clearly Lane is the biggest. That comes into play when you start looking at state divisions. Again, Dolphins playing up at 8 this year. Conrad on 3rd and 3. There's Scottmere in motion. The ball's on the ground. Little mix-up between Max and Vaughn there. We're not sure if seemed like, they just weren't on the same page as far as how that ball was getting delivered to Max. Going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah,
looks like Coach Finger is going to go for it. Bardsma back in the game. Good to see him. Still kind of working out a kink in that right arm, I think. Dolphins will need to get, this is not a short, this is 4th and 7 after that mishap on the exchange. 2 receivers to Conrad's left, 2 to the right. There's Warner in motion again.
That's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it was 4th down.
It doesn't matter, but he did throw it forward.
Yeah, he did throw it forward. I think they are marking it there, but you're right. That should have been an incomplete pass. Should have been an incomplete pass, but they are going to mark it there. Coach Finger is out there right now saying, hey, that's an incomplete pass. It was a forward pass. But I think they're going to Coach Finger is going to talk to the white hat right now. And he's going to say, hey, Vaughn Conrad, he threw that like a basketball free throw. It's a forward pass. It's not going to mean a ton of yards, but it will mean a few. It'll be about 4 or 5 yards. So right there, Dolphins very uncharacteristic in those last 2 plays by Warner and Conrad, just not quite together on what they want to have happen. Coach O.D. signaling out to his defense. Looks like we're rolling with that first group still. Big Country Oshesky.
Were they saying 4 or 5 yards or 6, 7?
They were saying
6, 7.
They were saying maybe it was 6, 7.
My daughter says, just stop.
Yeah, I'm sure that she does.
You can't say 6, 7. I'm like, you're almost 60 years old, but that's what they're saying, Barry. 6, 7.
They're all saying it.
NGL.
Yes.
No cap. Woo! Having fun here tonight.
So regardless of what it is, it's going to be Taft Eagle ball here because I was on 4th down. And I do think that Coach Finger was correct in his assessment and got the officials to also buy into that.
And then I'm going to wrap it up. Usually don't see those last 2 plays with the Dolphins being so mid.
It was extremely
That's
mid.
it, Riley.
Yeah,
done.
yeah. Low key.
No cap.
All right, Eagles going to take over. They just, referee's like, we couldn't remember where the ball is. Let's just stick it on the 50. So it's on the 50.
Always easy to get put on
Dolphins
the big line.
Loaded in the box right now. We got everybody in the box. Now they back off a little bit. There's going to be a keeper on the Wildcat snap. There's Hinkle. Can't get him out of bounds, but going to be a touchdown run out of the Wildcat formation. That was Tim Lykowski, the sophomore. So a little bit of a misdirection for the Eagles in the backfield. Had a direct snap to Lykowski. I think the Dolphins maybe were looking for a reverse on that. Lykowski kept it, took it to the house. Touchdown, Eagles.
Yeah, well blocked. The Dolphins couldn't set the edge and then turned on the speed on the sideline.
So Roman on for the extra point. 10:54 left here in the first half. Roman waiting for it. Here's the snap. Good snap, good hold, good kick. And we got a tie game, 7-7 here at Taft High School on the northwest side of Chicago. Chicago Public League action. Yeah, we said this is a team that had some injuries early in the season, so throw out that 2-6 record. Still a solid football team, well-coached football team by Coach Elder.
Yeah, I didn't know what the environment. I knew the environment was going to be tough. Did not know if this was going to be a chin strap game, but looks like we have a chin strap game. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and I mean they look good against Lincoln Park. Dolphins kind of had a grinded out game against Lincoln Park. Eventually, in the second half of that, got a little bit of distance in that game. But we got ourselves a football game here.
Dolphin kickoff team. Josiah the Truth Purnell, Jacob Wilderwood, the Dinger, 20.
Looks like we've got Mason Abdul Aleem, I do believe, is the far side, and Max Warner is the kickoff returner closest to us.
Taft fans getting a little fired
Ethan
up here.
Symbol kicks it away. That's going to be to Warner.
Let's go, Max.
At the 15, but he fumbles, and he gets back on top of it. Dew point. What's the dew point tonight?
We're down to 41.
So the last 3 touches for the Dolphins have all been sus.
They have. It's quite unusual.
So Conrad and Warner
here
struggled on their last 2 quarterback-running back exchanges, and there I think Warner started thinking about making a big run before he collected the ball. Couldn't put it away, slipped to the turf. So we got ourselves a long way to go.
So understand from the fans out there, we're having a little audio difficulties, but we're going to work through it.
Yep. All right. So was he saying audio or video? There's Joseph Gray on the carry. Gray, not much going off on the left-hand side.
Says we're down from Bloomington, Indiana. Audio was going in and out, and we're good now.
Okay, all right, very good. We'll try to do that. I'm not quite sure. Sounds good for us. Maybe it was. Maybe people were hitting the mute button when we were going through our.
I think with the 6-7.
When we had Urban Dictionary open, we were trying to entertain ourselves. So let's call a pickup of 1 for Gray. Espinosa Allen in the slot. Bardsman to the top. There's a throw over. Completed. That's Scottmere. Scottmere working his way out across the 25-yard line. First down there at about
nice
the
completion,
28.
but a little hitch there in the snap. So Dolphins are a little off their game the last 5, 6, 7 plays.
All right, so again, Del Villar getting the start at right guard. Ben Miller, right tackle. Logan Jones, MJ Woods holding it down on the left-hand side. 2 receivers top and bottom. Conrad looking deep.
Up top.
Trying to get it to Bardsma. Bardsma was tracking that the whole way. It was nice bracketed coverage over there. That was Nathan Boatman. Nathan Boatman on the coverage. Actually, their coach told me that somebody else might be wearing 16 tonight. So Boatman is listed as a sophomore, so that may have actually been somebody else on the coverage, but good job there by the Eagles.
Good coverage by Tab. Miles a little, feeling that shoulder a little bit maybe.
Yes, Sheldon Williams, Scottmere, receivers to the right. Gray, the running back, next to Conrad. There's Scottmere in motion. There's the give to Gray. Gray with some blockers. Gray on his feet. Gray makes a cut back across the 50-yard line. Good job by Joseph Gray, picking up big chunky yardage for the Dolphins. First down.
It's just so nice to have in our back pocket. Joseph Gray with years of good running back work, and shows it again there in his senior year.
Dolphins on the line, going to go with a little tempo here. A little flip over to Gray. Gray, again, looking upfield. Nice job. Picks up about 4 on the far side of the field. Dolphins don't often go into that tempo type of offense, but did it there. Actually, they're going to mark that all the way up to the 50-yard line, so pickup of 5 yards on that play for Joseph Gray. Yeah, again, career yardage for Joseph Gray because he spent a lot of his first years as a wide receiver in this offense. He's got over 250 yards receiving and over 250 yards rushing on his career. And Coach Finger said some big runs in the fourth quarter last week, now 2 here this week. Conrad looking deep again. He's got the connection to Bardsma. Bardsma, big play. Bardsma.
Big play, Bardsma.
Touchdown. Nice pitch and catch again. Bardsma did a nice job of tracking that ball. The senior to senior connection, VK5 to Miles Bardsma. That's his 4th touchdown catch on the year. VK5 on Conrad's 19th passing touchdown on the year.
No, that
and the
connection
Dolphins
didn't hit the first 2 times
back
through.
on
The
top.
last 2 times it did. And I think Miles' shoulder might be okay.
I bet it's feeling pretty good right now. The doctor's on for the operation. Dr. Edwards, Dr. Conrad, Dr. Luze. Good snap, good hold. Kick is good. Inside the left goalpost, 14-7. So good response after a little trickeration. After the touchdown by Taft, the Dolphins got some nice runs out of Joseph Gray, and then that was from the 50, or do we have a run after that? I'm going to just call it a 50-yard.
I think 50.
50-yard touchdown pass from Conrad. Tony will correct me tomorrow.
He will. Just nice to see that VK5 to 2 big play Bardsma connection. The last three or four games of last year was really key, and it's been a little intermittent this year, and now it's back. We got 9 on the kickoff team. Double L, Logan Lopez. 4, Jacob Wildermuth. We have 18. Fox is in here, and a lot of other awesome Dolphins.
Actually, it must have been a penalty somewhere in there. Dolphins are going to back up 15, so maybe a little celebratory action after the touchdown. Actually, Sean Miller on the Ninja is back to kick off here. Maybe with Bardsma getting a little dinged up early, got that touchdown. I see him over on the sidelines with trainer Sam working on him a little bit. So the Ninja, who punted last week after missing a couple weeks with an injury.
26, Nevin Henkel. 20's out there, the Dinger. 8, Brian Pantoja.
So from the 25, ball hits at the 30, picked up on the far side with a head of steam. And talk about, I'm sure we'll try to get who that was. That was a senior sort of playing your last game, and it was. So that was Dean Parker, one of their captains. And again, these guys, they don't have a playoff game in front of them. So all these seniors on the field right now are playing their last game, and that is what you do in your senior year, your last game.
Sure do,
you get
Barry.
a kickoff and you hit it as fast as you can, and when there's a big pile of people, you just try to dive over the top of it. So good looking play there by Parker, and gets the ball. We've just been hovering around this 50-yard line on the last 2 plays. Again, that was last time Tim Lykowski got the direct snap and took it to the house for Taft, but answered by a Von Conrad to Miles Bardsma throw. So McFadden, the running back next to Roman. That's McFadden with the ball. Scott Muir coming off the edge to start with, and then the middle of that defensive line, MJ the Bull Woods. Efren Solano, Big E.
Big Evil.
Big E working his
back.
magic in the middle of that line.
Yeah, they had 14 Devander Shoemaker in for a play, and Bardsma is now back.
All right, so Bardsman, actually, so D-line is Logan Jones in, along with Solano and Spellers. Logan Jones made a nice play last week, tracking down all the way across the field against Amundsen. The Truth and Logan Lopez at the outside linebacker position. So pick up about 3 on that last play. Inside give to McFadden. He got going in a hurry on that. Picked up a first down. Logan Jones on the tackle. McFadden definitely showing some burst out of the backfield. Looks like maybe he got rolled up on the end of that play, so he's going to come off limping a little bit. I got to say, he really shot out of there. Against the Lincoln Park game, he didn't look quite as explosive. Hopefully that is just
hopefully Diesel just has a tweak.
Yeah, hopefully just get it in the garage and do a quick tune-up there. McFadden again, Darren McFadden's son, heading down to Illinois State on a scholarship.
Darren McFadden, Heisman finalist in 2006 when Troy Smith was the winner.
Troy Smith, where'd he go?
Bucks.
Did he get a tattoo? Oh, floated out here. DeRoss, great job on the tackle. Bennett coming up from his linebacker position, corralled Elian Torres before he could do anything with that. Torres had a nice 59-yard catch against Bulls prep, but wasn't going to work that time with Bennett DeRoss ranging in from his safety position. Loss of a couple on that, a loss of 2.
52, MJ the Bullwoods checking in.
MJ in, Logan Jones out. Again, Roman can make some plays with his feet as well. So you want to be in your gap, want to take care of your assignment. Dolphins lining up a bunch of guys in the box here. McFadden out. We'll have to see who that running back is next to him. Roman looking back to pass, has to get it away in a hurry, completes it. That was to Alex Furtek, so completion down to the 38-yard line. Roman doing a good job of getting the ball out of his hands in a hurry.
Truth was coming in hot.
Yep.
55 Big Country. Alex Ashevsky checking in.
So Dean Parker is the running back with McFadden. I saw McFadden just getting taped up over here on the side. He's back on the sidelines right behind Coach Elder right now, getting ready to get back in. So Parker, the running back, 3rd and about 7 to pick up here for the Eagles. Looking topside, intercepted. Joseph Gray to the 50. Roman going to try to cut him off. Joseph Gray to the 20. Joseph Gray with a cutback, still on his feet, into the end zone. Touchdown, pick 6. The football player.
21, Joseph Gray, the football player, stepped right into the passing lane and nifty moves down the field for a pick 6.
Joseph Gray picking up his 7th career touchdown, pick 6. Joseph Gray did a nice job. Roman was trying to hit on those quick hitters. Joseph Gray, the football player, man, you throw that out there enough, he sniffed that one out and took it to the house.
Yeah, he sent something. They had a nice play, the play before where the tight end, I guess the slot receiver tucked in. Joseph Gray sniffed that one out.
On for the extra point. The operation. Edwards, Conrad, Luze, the doctors.
Yeah, it's
putting
nice
it on
to
the
see
board.
The senior-laden team. Dr. Luze had a couple tries at extra points on our first game, kind of a blowout win, and didn't necessarily look the best, but he's really come through the last 4 games now. Yoni Luze.
And Joseph Gray, that was great. I mean, again, this is the Eagles again back. Got it into Dolphins territory right off the get-go, and looked like they had a little bit of momentum. Had McFadden come out, had some completions from Roman, but that was Gray stepping in front. We talked about it. Again, I'm pulling out Joseph Gray's career stats here. Again, over 260 yards rushing, 251 receiving, had 6 total touchdowns coming in. The other thing about Joseph Gray, and we don't get tackles tallied up until the end of the season. Last year he had 161 tackles. That was high on the team, and if you look via Max Prep, that was high in the state. Now, I don't think every high school reports all of those things in, but crazy numbers for Joseph Gray. Miller, kickoff, fielded far side. That's Logan Lopez taking care of business on the outside. Del Villar gets there at the end, But good job again coming down, being in your lane.
18, the Fox in the mix there. We had 64, Aiden Fusi on the kickoff team.
All right, 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. Dolphins on the board with some explosive plays tonight. The 65-yard touchdown from Maxwell Warner. The 50-yard completion touchdown, Conrad to Barsma. And now we get the, let's call that, I think that's a 65-yard-ish interception return for a touchdown for Joseph Gray. Maybe even 70 yards. Let's call it 670 yards.
670 yards.
This is just terrible.
4 explosive touchdowns this evening. 3 for the Dolphins, 1 for the Eagles.
Yep. Eagles were missing an offensive lineman. They're getting that back in. I'm kind of trying to see if looks like no McFadden in the backfield yet. Looks like the new running back is Devon Ellis.
Starting corners back in, the chosen one, and big play Barsma.
There's the give on the inside. Nothing going.
Oh.
Bounces it out. There's Maxwell Warner and friends cleaning things up. So,
ball comes out.
a little late there. Joseph Gray trying to. Actually, you know what? I'm off because I think that's eighth. That's Joseph Gray because he had the scoop and score. So I've got his offensive touchdowns as 6, but he has 2 defensive touchdowns, 2 over the last 3 weeks here for the football player. Pickup of 2 on that play. Roman collecting the play from the sideline from Elder and the swarm of Taft assistant coaches that they have. 4:14 left here, first quarter.
I always like the Taft coaches' uniforms, a little Ditka-esque.
Yeah, they've got some swag. I was walking in behind a few of the guys, and they were talking to some of the fans, and they were excited to bust out the jackets that they have tonight. So always matching gear for these guys. Roman waiting for the snap, gives it on the inside, still on his feet. That was Ellis, the running back. Probably picked up 2 or 3 there off on the left-hand side of the Dolphin line.
Not surprisingly, the Riz Zombie, Rayton Scottmere at the bottom of the pile.
Scottmere got a bunch of catches already tonight.
Ticking down, second quarter, about 3:30 left.
21-7. Make sure I got the scoreboard right. I actually have a scoreboard tonight.
Scoreboard's looking precise tonight.
Yeah, it sure is looking precise. It took me a while. I had to go back through the software, and like Tony going to tell me I'm a little off on my color variation of some things. I couldn't quite figure it out, but at least we have a scoreboard. Did not exist last week. Being
an army of one, village of one, do you have an IT department that helps you with things like that?
Yeah, it's called Tony McHale. Of course, the Godfather. Godfather can do it all. 3rd and 4. Roman, the quarterback. He's got 3 receivers bunched to the top. Running back next to him on his right. Roman rolling to his right, looking, and picks up the first down.
Nice
Gets
play.
it out there to Alex Furtek. So ball spotted. Both teams with a full trifecta of timeouts here. Maybe the Eagles given down 21-7 here. Maybe they want to use a couple timeouts on this drive if they get it progressing a little bit more. Ellis, the running back. I think that's Ellis. Yep, I think it's Ellis next to Roman. He's got 2 receivers top and bottom. There's the inside give. MJ, the bull.
The bull.
Woods. Bam! Blowing some kisses to the Taft fans for that one.
See if Coach Finger is going to take his timeouts here. He was talking to the referee.
I don't think Coach Finger was happy with MJ Woods blowing kisses. MJ Woods is off to the side.
Subbing him out.
And Coach Finger is having a conversation, a very heated, direct conversation. I think, and I think some of that's like, hey man, don't don't give the refs an opportunity to throw a 15-yard flag on something like that. Clock is running here. Looks like neither one of these teams are going to do it. Coach Finger still going through with MJ.
He did have a really good spike on his big man touchdown.
Yeah, big man touchdown allows a spike, but maybe a tackle for loss. Again, leading the team in tackles for losses, but maybe not the multiple blown kisses to the Taft fans. 3 receivers, 2 Romans left, single to the top. He rolls to his left. He's looking
deep.
Ball goes out of bounds. That was good pressure by Agent Zero, John Spellers, on that. So Spellers in his face. Now the clock will stop for a 3rd down. I think it's a 4th down play. They announced it as a 3rd down, but
MJ Woods.
It is actually 3rd down. Yep.
Back in the game after a little one-way discussion with Coach Finger.
Yes, Coach. Yes, Coach. Never again, Coach. It's tough.
He's giving us heartfelt kisses, Sammy Sosa.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they all came here to watch him play, right?
Yeah.
Just admiring the fans. 3rd and long, 3rd and 13. Clock is stopped after the incomplete pass. Bardsma locked up in single coverage on the bottom here against Tim Ho. Motion man to the side. Give up the middle. Nothing going on. The Truth. Truth fires. See, that's ridiculous. That was a ridiculous call. He didn't throw him to the ground. He tackled and he released.
He played to the whistle.
Yeah, ridiculous call.
And now we're going to change our timeout strategy.
Yep. So 49 seconds left. Unless he did it the wrong way. So they're called that an unsportsmanlike conduct call, and he motioned to the Eagles.
Right.
So maybe there was something. So something we didn't. Something the officials clearly saw, but we did not see over here. We thought it was an egregious call against the Dolphins, but now the white hat is going to come over and talk to Coach Elder and tell him what went on the inside of that. Some chicanery, some tomfoolery for Taft. I mean, Taft, and who knows, Taft is, we've heard over the years that this is a place that there can be some discussions on the field. Some of the players making some references to their favorite their favorite cultural heritage holidays and some of the pet names that go on and some of those things. So quite possibly one of those celebrations was happening. Now it looks like we got a delay of game, or maybe did they take a timeout? I think Taft ended up taking a timeout there before the delay of game happened. So the ball backed up inside the 20-yard line. Dolphins with all 3 timeouts could end up trying to do a little bit of action here on the end of the second quarter. Again, up 21-7.
I don't know if we were charged a timeout there, Barry, or not.
Yeah, I'm not quite. I didn't see what it was. It was again another motion toward the Taft side of things. So I don't know. It was either a timeout that they took, and I didn't see any additional yardage marked off. Again, that was a big play, big stop on 3rd down. We have not seen McFadden back in the game, trying to see where he might be on the sidelines. 4th and 27. Roman has been able to get some good kicks away. Not much for anything from a wind perspective here, but he's backed up to his end zone. Dolphins with the punt block on. Everybody on the line of scrimmage. Bennett DuRoss lined up at the 50. Good pressure up the middle. Roman kicks it, but it's straight up in the air, and it's going to check up at the 31-yard line. Down there by Abdel Kauk of Taft. But Dolphins definitely in business here, 41.5 seconds.
In business, yeah. That mysterious penalties usually will work against us. In this case, the mysterious penalty worked for us. Don't love it, but hey. Conrad
getting the play. And all 3 timeouts left for the Dolphins, we believe here. Sheldon Williams, DuRoss, receivers to the left. Big play Bardsma already with a touchdown catch tonight. And Scottmere Rizgod to the right. There's Conrad looking deep. He's got intercepted in the end zone. He dropped it. He ended up dropping it. Wow, so it was that pass is a little short of Sheldon Williams. Williams kind of got hung up there. I think that might have been Darius. Darius Ganau was on the coverage, I think, from his safety slot, and I thought he was coming up with that interception. But incomplete. Dolphins back at it here, second down. Same setup, DuRoss and Williams to the left. Warner in the backfield. There's a quick pitch and catch just out of the reach of Bardsma. Bardsma still a little frustrated by that one, but wasn't going to be a big gainer there. Conrad makes the long run across the field. We're on the right hash, so he had us to run about 39.5 yards to get over to Coach Eddie for this third down play. So again, plenty of time here. I wasn't watching Luze in warmups. I know that the kick last week would have been good from about 40. Not in range yet from where they are now. So say they probably would want to get another first down here before they think about kicking. So this is just
Warner
4 down territory here. Good coverage. There's Scottmere getting the ball, getting the first down, getting upfield, ushered out of bounds around the 15-yard line. So again, that's arm strength from Vaughn Conroy. We're talking about like, hey, we maybe take this guy for granted because he's not a big dude, right? He's not a big dude, but that had some velo to get out there on the far hash. Scottmere gets it upfield, gets the first down, gets out of bounds. 25 seconds left. Now you're definitely in Luze territory, but you're going to be looking to put a few of these passes into the end zone. Bardsma, single receiver to the top. He's got double coverage on him. 3 receivers to Conrad's right, along with Warner in the backfield. All 4 coming that way. There's Bardsma looking for the corner, looking for a block. Bardsma bounces off a guy, but not a whole lot going on. That was Muhammad out there on the tackle. I think now you're going to get a timeout, and I think that I think Bardsma is now down. I think he is really working through that shoulder, and now he is down on the right-hand sideline, getting some attention from the medical folks there. I think Miles just something dinged up on that shoulder early and kind of looked like maybe that's the same thing that he's got on the sideline. 16 seconds left.
So Miles bounces back quickly.
Coach Finger making his way over there as well. Again, if you're joining us, if you're getting in here late, a bunch of explosive plays that we've had going on here. First time that the Taft went, I think they had a first down on their first possession and ended up punting. Dolphins, Maxwell Warner taking it to the house for his, I know I've said this before, I have a lot of these things committed to memory, but let me make sure I get it right. His 16th touchdown on the year, his 14th rushing touchdown. So, Luke Yolich, if you're tuned in, you had 14 last year. Maxwell Warner tying you up in week 9 right now. I know. You didn't get the ball as much as he did. You were splitting carries with him, but Yolich with 14 touchdowns last year over that 14-game Chicago Public League Championship plus IHSA first-round win plus Prep Bowl.
Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside. Last year was something special.
Yolich up at Wisconsin right now playing some rugby. We had a chance to catch up with another one of our rugby players, Ben Barrett, last week. So Miles.
I hope the Badgers rugby team is better than their football team.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. Did you? I can't remember. I know that you've been traveling around.
I do. I travel with the Buckeyes. I went up to Madison. Beautiful day up there, and after jump around, the entire student section cleared out. So yeah, that was the bar scene was great, but it was a little used to seeing that team for 30 years. being quite a force, and kind of disappointed to see the stadium decently empty in the fourth quarter. But it was 37-0. Go Bucks.
Yeah, there you go. I was up at the lakefront last week. Watched the last Northwestern Wildcats home game on the
the last one
on
the little stadium.
All right, so we're back at it here. 16 seconds left. Conrad rolling to his left, looking for Williams in the deep corner. That time it got picked off. Oh, let's see. The Dolphins are saying incomplete, but I think it was intercepted. I think intercepted in the end zone by Darius Ganwu. I'm going to say Ganwu from now on. Ganwu made a nice tackle in space, and that time comes down with the interception. Conrad was trying to get into the deep back corner to Sheldon Williams. He was rolling to his left and just didn't quite get enough air under the ball. Trying to get it to Williams. Williams, again, the senior, had a big catch last week. Williams at 6'3", 170, trying to get it out there, but to no avail. So interception. Ball comes out to the 20-yard line. Diesel McFadden back in the game for Taft. They got a long way to go. They might just be taking a knee here and heading back to the... Yep, just Roman takes a knee. Clock is going to wind. Taft is going to head to the locker room. Dolphins going to head to the locker room. And we'll get to some conversations over halftime right now. 21-7 right now. Dolphins up over Taft. And Dolphins came in 7-1. Taft Eagles came in at 2-6. So let me get to my halftime notes. I'm sure we're going to have some good performances from halftime. From maybe I think they're rolling out the band podium here. So full Eagles band, full Eagles dance squad, and cheerleaders. And we will have some full information at halftime. So let's talk about the Dolphins and some of the other sports. Last week we were talking about that flag football team. They had qualified for state. They advanced to the finals game last week. So they won their quarterfinal game 13-6 over Antioch. Georgia Lang, the quarterback, hooked up on a TD pass to Dee Dudley and then again to Nina Lloyd. So that was the scoring. Jemiah Hamilton led the defense with 9 flag pulls and 7 sacks. So that was the quarterfinal win, 13-6 over Antioch. Then the semifinal game, exercised some demons for us Dolphin fans, going up against Willowbrook. So Willowbrook back in 2021 sort of handed it to the tackle football team in the IHSA first round game. But Dolphins flag football team semifinal 12-6 win over Willowbrook. Lang was 24 of 43 on the day for 214 yards, hooking up on a 48-yard touchdown to sophomore Cora Quilty. Quilty finished the day with 5 catches for 88 yards. Big play also in that. So Quilty had the touchdown, 30-yard pick six from freshman Ella Schuler. That broke open that 6-6 tie and gave the final 12-6 victory of margin. Again, Jemiah Hamilton leading the way on defense with 11 flag pulls and 6 sacks. Then in the final game, Dolphins met up with Maine South in that championship game. So last year, Dolphins finished third in state. This year, they finished second. So Dolphins were hanging tough. They were down 13-6 into the fourth quarter before the number 1 seed Hawks pulled away. Lang ended up, the quarterback, Georgia Lang, was 21 for 34 for 236 and a touchdown to Dee Dudley. Dudley finished the day with 4 catches for 67 yards. Coach Val Spann, and that's I think it's our 3rd year of a varsity program. They finished the season 22-5. They've compiled a 53-15 record over the last 3 years with Coach Val at the headline there. All right, thank you, my friend. We got some halftime stats here. Halftime stats from Blake. This guy is doing a job. So we got Joseph Gray leading the way. 4 solo tackles and that interception for a touchdown. Looks like Agent Zero has got a couple pass defended and 2 tackles. 2 tackles for loss from MJ Woods already. Tackle for loss for our guy, Big Country Oshesky. Rushing yardage for Warner again with that long touchdown run, that 65-yarder. Warner's got 5 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown in the first half. Conrad, 1 carry, 5 yards. And Joseph Gray, again, getting some carries in that second touchdown drive, 3 carries for 23 yards. Conrad, so far, is 7 for 14 for 108 yards and 1 touchdown and that 1 interception at the end of half. Scott Meir leading the way with 4 catches for 45 yards. Bardsma, again, with that touchdown catch. So Bardsma, 3 catches for 60 yards and the touchdown. So those are your halftime stats. I was just talking about... Hey!
We have Dolphin royalty here.
Dude,
You want to get him on?
Yeah, let's get him on.
We'll hand it over to...
Let's get him on.
Mach 5.
Mach
Quinn
5.
Duhan here.
Quinn Duhan here, sporting his Chicago Public League City Championship hat. I don't know. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah. Check it out.
Oh, you got the whole thing?
Yeah, I got the
T-shirt going on. So, Duhan, okay, let's talk about this game.
Yep.
What's your scouting report after the first quarter?
Scouting report is... Am I good?
I'm just going to flip you around.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Dolphins look good. I think the offense is moving. They're doing good work. Defense has looked really good, other than that one wildcat play.
Yeah.
But it's good to see the seniors doing some good work. Hope everything's good with Barsma. I know he's talking to Sam over there.
Yeah. He got. I think he literally. I think he
first
got
play of the
dinged up
game.
on the first play of the game. Oh
his
yeah,
shoulder,
you got. Yeah. And then he was over on the sideline for a little bit. Whatever they did, it was in there. And then they tried to run that end around. He's a great receiver. He's not Quinn Duhan when he gets the ball on the edge.
Rayton's looks really good today. I think he's caught the ball more times than me. I think.
He has actually. If we go back to it.
Stats.
Yeah. I have last year's stats, but if you were going to put me on the spot here, so Scott Meir came in leading the team in receptions, and I'm going to go. So he had, maybe not as many. So he had 22 coming in. I can't remember what I just said. If he had 3 in the first half. If you want, let's see. Do I have? I got Quinn Duhan's stats somewhere, dude. You're the man. So Quinn, you're down at Notre Dame right now.
I am.
How's it going?
It's going great. I'm loving it. We just finished the first half of the semester. That's why I'm here. We're out a week for fall break. So had a couple midterms, but doing well. And no, it's a ton of fun.
Yeah, I talked to your dad. I went to the golf outing, and so I talked to your dad. I said, "Oh, is Quinn playing any intramural sports?" He said he's playing them
all of them. Yeah, good dose of football and 2 different little intramural leagues there. And then all the weird stuff, Got some ultimate frisbee going. Got some pickleball, some climbing, some spike ball. Spike ball, of course.
Of course, Quinn Duhan, the godfather of Whitney Young spike ball.
Yep.
So tell us about. Give me a little bit of what's the feel in football, because clearly there's some good athletes there. Do you try to downplay? Do you try to walk out there and just be like, oh, I'm just like this skinny, slow kid?
Yeah, no, it's a ton of fun out there because everyone's an athlete,
Yep.
So
everybody thinks they're an athlete.
Oh, that's
but
true.
you really are an athlete.
It's fun to go out there and play. Yeah, it's good to have. I'm playing flag football for the first time since 8th grade, so that's a fun thing I got going on. But yeah, no, it's fun to go out with the guys and mess around. It's not as structured as football here, but
do you think that your dad wants to come down and coach?
I bet he would. He's got his glory days of coaching me in 5th and 6th grade. So
heck yeah, that's a dominant team. That team gets brought up quite a bit. I was at the practice on Tuesday, and I'm just hanging out on the sidelines, and a lot of the JV guys don't really know me, and this kid next to me is like, hey, are you like a dad of one of the players?
Yep.
And I'm like, what if I was like scout for Taft? And he's like, well, we ran all of our important stuff early in practice. He's like, but no, are you? And I'm like, well, yeah, my son used to play. And he's like, well, who are you? I'm like, well, I do the live stream. He's like, oh, I'm Christopher Latham.
Oh,
so it was your running mate. It's Andrew Latham's younger brother.
Yeah, there you
Christopher
go.
Here at Whitney Young. We're getting into the sort of the Quinn Duhan time of the year here. We're getting into Chicago Public League and state playoffs.
Yeah.
Have you been? We got. There's some. It's a little bit of a weird year because as far as overall Chicago Public League, it's really top loaded. Morgan Park's look good, although they lost last week to Kenwood. So Kenwood is undefeated right now.
Yeah.
And Morgan Park faces off against Simeon. So those teams definitely. Whitney Young, of course, we've played a pretty soft schedule because we've only played Morgan Park out of that group.
Right.
And this King got called up this year, and they've only got one loss on the season so far as well. But then you have some of these traditional programs like Amundsen and Taft. I think they had some injuries at the beginning of the year, and so their records aren't looking like we expect out of those teams. Right. But when you're gearing up, what's it like at practice? Because we'll have 2 more weeks, but this all of a sudden, and we talk about how fast the season goes. Right. It's like you're back in August and you're like, we got a whole full season, and then all of a sudden there you are, and it's the end of October and November. And tell us a little bit about like the traditions in Dolphin practice. It won't go on this week, but it could go on coming up in the next week. Those final type of practices, what goes on at those?
Yeah, so just ramping up for the end of the season. The November practices will be fun. It gets to be real cold. People are out there in their pants and their hoodies, and they're going about practice. And Coach Finger always says, it's a privilege to play ball in November. But yeah, as we get to those hopefully it won't come too soon. I have faith in our guys to go deep in the playoffs here. But as we get to that what could be the last practice, I mean, is that what you're alluding to?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When we get to what could be the last practice of the season, we'll give a little ode to all the seniors. So an underclassman will speak about a senior that meant a lot to them over their time in the football program. And then the senior will get one last go at the crash dummy. And the guys will hype them up, and it'll be a nice moment, little sentimental speech. So this year, with how many seniors we have, that should be a very interesting extension to practice.
Coach Finger's going to have to put people on a play clock there, with 29 seniors. It was easier when Alex Dale was. You had Alex and Jacob, and if Brian Bardsmo was at practice that day. Who are some of the guys that spoke about you when you were a senior last year?
Who did speak about me? I know that Miles Barsma spoke about me last year, but I think we had 3 different practices. So I want to say Rayton was one of them, fitting because that F position.
Yeah.
But shoot, I feel bad now because I can't remember.
I put you on the spot. And did you ever speak about any of the seniors?
I did. I know I spoke about Anthony Hood my junior year. Anthony Hood, great guy, program legend. Let's see. Did I speak about anyone else? Can't be sure. My sophomore year, you talked about it. Not a whole lot of seniors to go around.
Yeah, everybody was trying to talk about Alex at the same time.
Yeah. But yeah, I spoke about Anthony my junior year. So yeah, no, that's a nice tradition that we have.
It's awesome, and there's so many things. I mean, I wrote down something like, Coach Finger always has what is it? Is Tuesdays? What's the real life day?
Real life Wednesday.
Real life Wednesday.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. I don't know if they've definitely already changed the tire. I don't know if they've done their ties yet.
Yep. I talked to I talked to Mason Abdul Alim's mom, and she was commenting about how he was able to tie his tie. So they've gotten that in. Before we let you go, I think that you also are dominating right now in the Whitney Young football fantasy football league, right?
Bennett, the commissioner. Yeah, I'm trying. Speaking to Anthony Hood, he just offered me a terrible trade. He was trying to fleece me. He was giving me Stafford, and he was trying to take all my star receivers or whatever. I'm trying to do good. It's a big comeback story because last year I was dead last, I think.
I don't think you paid attention last year. I think that's a lot of times what I would hear on Sunday mornings from Bennett is like, Quinn Duhan's not even looking at his team. He doesn't even care anymore. But I think it's so cool just that all you guys still stay in touch. And I think it's also it's a tribute to the way this team sort of works together, practices together, plays together.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because that spans from Alex Dale
that's
all the way
Alex
through
Dale,
guys,
all the way
into your year. So really cool stuff. Quinn, awesome to have you on, man. Great to see you.
To be back.
Come back anytime. Mach 5, Quinn Duhan. Hey, and Mark Duhan here too. Oh, love you guys. Love you guys.
Oh, a special treat to have Mach 5.
I didn't ask Mach 5. Is it so Notre Dame or Ohio State if they play each other? Okay, Notre Dame. You didn't even hesitate.
Quinn is a Notre Dame student. Family's from Akron, big Buckeye fans.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get into the gravel.
My sons are also Buckeye fans. They're Illini and Hoosiers. I think I've brainwashed them a little better maybe than Mark Duhan has done.
There's maybe. Let me get through some of this other stuff as we're rolling down here. Talked about flag football, Dolphin volleyball. Chicago Public League champs. Woo! Both varsity team and sophomore team. Varsity defeated Lane, of course, because when you're really the school of champions and you just have a mascot that's a champion, that's going to LTK every day of the week. That led by Delilah Roman, three kills a game. Claire Golden, Jordan McCoy leading the way on aces and assists. And Molly Boyle getting down for a team leading 137 digs. At State, I didn't have a chance to look this up, but we've got two. We've got our singles, Lena Mondana in singles, and Amade Askai and Harper Wright in doubles at State right now. Then we talked a little bit about it with Quinn, but if we look real quickly at Chicago Public League playoffs, and last week's score, Kenwood over Morgan Park last week. We lost to Morgan Park earlier in the year. That was a game from everything I've read and everything that I've seen, that Morgan Park really should have won that game. They had 3 times they were inside the 5-yard line and came away with no points on it. But Kenwood still in the Chicago Public League undefeated. Keontae Lewis had a game-winning touchdown pass to Kingston Watson with 20 seconds left. Lewis finished the day 14 of 20 for 201 yards, a touchdown and a pick. He also had 63 yards rushing on the day. Lawrence Carr with 5 catches for 95 yards and a score. Nasir Rankin, again, another big day. He's had huge games the last couple weeks. He had 5 catches for 135 for the Morgan Park Mustangs. Morgan Park, again, 15-point first half lead, but couldn't put it away. Other scores from last week: King 22, Peyton 3. So we talked about those teams both at the top of the standings right now. So King rolls into their last week with just 1 loss. Simeon, big win over Phillips, 34-0. They've got Mikhail Blade back in the lineup. He's heading to Michigan next year, but made a big impact on the play. He's been hurt the last couple weeks. Lane 13, Westinghouse 7. Lincoln Park, again, we talked about their 21-20 win over Taft. So if you look at the top of the Chicago Public League standings, you got Kenwood at 6-0. Then you got a logjam at 5-1 with Whitney Young, Morgan Park, Simeon, Lane, and King all at 5-1. Peyton 4-2, Lincoln Park 3-3, and then Bulls, Westinghouse, and Amundsen all at 2-4. What does that all mean, Jack?
Ooh, it's going to be hard to see the teams.
You ask. So what we have is Kenwood. They are playing against, who does Kenwood have this weekend? Why don't I have it here? Easy for me to see. They're playing somebody that they're going to beat. I don't know.
So they're going to be undefeated.
Yeah, they'll be at 8-0, and then there's going to be a 3-way tie for second. Well, I don't want to assume that. If Whitney Young wins tonight, they'll be 7-1. King and Lane play each other, so one of those teams will have a second loss. Morgan Park and Simeon play each other, so one of those teams will have a second loss. So either a 2-way tie, or you're going to have a 3-way tie with Whitney Young, King or Lane, Morgan Park, and Simeon. And then you're going to have a 2- or 3-way tie at 5th place with those 2 lost teams coming out of the King Lane and Morgan Park Simeon and Peyton also likely ends up at 6-2. Peyton's got a game against Westinghouse. What was that? We have a special
I don't
request?
know. Yeah, she was looking for either a better DJ and wanted to sub me out, or I don't know.
Okay. All right. Very good. At the state level, so first round. So this is week 9. Week 10, first round IHSA playoffs. So first round state playoffs. That announcement of who we will be facing and where we'll be facing them will happen. Pairings start being announced at 8 o'clock on Saturday night on the U, if you're in the Chicagoland area, to tune in there. Otherwise, you can go to IHSA website.
The U, you know, Barry, you're always tuning in to Family Feud, Sanford and Son, things like that.
Yeah, do you know how old Red Fox was when they did the Sanford and Son?
I do not know.
He was like 52 years old.
He was 52.
Yeah.
Wow, he was Fred Sanford. Oh, I feel better about it.
It's a big one. But
Elizabeth.
Yep. What the heck am I talking about? Week 10, first round IHSA. Oh, so let me get to that because it's, if you look at it right now, I said on the open that Whitney Young is kind of hanging around like the number 10 seedings. And again, that's all that happens there. There's no ranking system. It's all pretty straight up. It's your record, and then it's the number of of wins that your opponents have. So we're on the bottom of that pile right now. So if you look at all the teams, undefeated Mount Carmel, they are going tonight against Loyola. So the other story there is Loyola loses. They will not make the playoffs for, I think, the first time since 2006. But Whitney Young, if they win, even if they don't win tonight, I think we're going to host a game. We will very, very likely host a first-round game.
16 no matter what.
Yep, I think so, just the way it was looking. And Coach Finger said that we were trying to play. He's thinking that given a lot of the other teams that are in, given Lane, Lincoln Park, Peyton all in, it might be tough for us to be at Lane, so we'll likely be at Rockney. We'd love to do a Friday Night Lights game, but again, we don't find that out until we get in. The teams that are kind of hanging out in that area on the opposite side, so if we're 10, it would be sort of the team around 23 that we'd be playing. Again, Lincoln Way East lost, so maybe we're in the 9 slot right now, so 9 would give you, in theory, the 24 seed. Teams around that with like 5-3 records going tonight: Manuka, Hinsdale Central, Naperville North. So Naperville North last week beat Lincoln Way East. They've got a 4-star Indiana commit, Gabriel Hill, down there. Lockport New Trier, and the kickoff's going to happen here, and I'm going to give you one more team that's at that level. You got to get back on it. Mason Abdul Halim. So
I don't like
Jameer Spencer trying to head around, and that was just Dolphins have had some plays tonight that are not typical of Dolphin plays. So Mason Abdul-Halim, I think, needed to get on that ball over there, and maybe he saw Jameer Spencer coming up and he wanted him to take it. But kickoff is alive. That play is live. And then I think what you need to learn, and I think that they're having the conversation with some of the younger players over there, do not make a bad situation worse. Get down on that ball. It was sitting there around the 20-yard line, but now it's pushed all the way back to about the 13-yard line. Looks like Bardsma is not in the lineup to start off with. So Conrad, he's got
Chosen One is
breaking off another run. First down run right off the get-go by Maxwell Warner.
Very similar to his touchdown run there, Barry.
Yep, just taking off. So Arlen Cooper checking in the lineup at that Bardsma wide receiver position. We'll try to see if we can see Miles on the sideline. I'm guessing, given that his shoulder looked like it was tweaked earlier and then he came out, we may not see the senior wide receiver cornerback in the rest of the way here. But first down for Warner, out to the 25-yard line. There's the give to Warner again. Warner getting going. Warner still on his feet to the 40, to the 50. Still on his feet, wrestled out of bounds all the way down to the 30-yard line. Warner putting on a show tonight.
Nice run by Max.
So
Good.
Warner had that 65-yard touchdown in the first half, close to the century mark. Now he's well over the century mark for the sixth time this season.
I'm going to give him a 39-yard run on that, Barry.
All right, well, I'll go along with you on that one. Just underway here. First possession of the third quarter. Joseph Gray checking in for Max Warner now. There's a nice pass. 33 baller.
33 baller.
In the box score. First catch of the year for Iakunle Espinosa Allen. Again, he battled through injuries the first 7 weeks of the year. Getting in there tonight. Conrad going to go fast here. Got Cooper to the top. Scott Meir.
The Dolphins are looking to get
Miller.
33 baller more involved last week.
There's the give to Warner, to Joseph Gray. Joseph Gray still on his feet. Out of bounds. So with Bardsma out of the lineup, you got Cooper in there. Iakunle Espinosa Allen, 33 baller, playing that tight end position.
Yeah, coming into the year, the Dolphins were expecting great things from him out of that tight end position. So it could be an extra element that we need going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is, just you see, and you think back to the last few years, and it becomes a battle of attrition for all teams, right? So 2 years ago, you had Joseph Clayton getting dinged up down the stretch. There's Gray in motion. Conrad going to keep it up the middle, puts his head down, gets across the 10-yard line.
VK5.
I think a first down.
Tough running. First and goal, Dolphins.
Paul Conrad and the Conrad family singers all collectively clenched up there a little bit as senior Conrad took that run. Definitely Taft has been vulnerable to that quarterback run a bit, but Lincoln Park quarterback probably has a little bit of height and weight on Von Conrad, but Conrad been able to run it through his career and does it again there. Warner checking back in at running back. Conrad looking left. He's got Sheldon Williams. Williams putting it together. Williams touchdown. Making the Z great again. Williams with a touchdown catch in the first game of the year, regular season, and a touchdown catch in the last game of the regular season. Good job again. VK5 getting that ball out, getting to Sheldon Williams. Williams getting things done on the far left side.
Nice bookend touchdown by 16, Sheldon Williams. Yeah, important drive for the Dolphins there in this chin strap game. Up.
Snap good. Hold good. Kick good.
Dr. Edwards, Dr. Conrad, Dr. Yoni Luze.
28-7. Good way to come out after halftime. Conrad, so after that big run by Maxwell Warner, 39-yard run, Jack's telling us. So after he had a first down run here, so he's close to 140, 150 on the night. And really, let's see, Max came in at 800. He's close to the 1,000 mark for the season. So Max came into the night at 834 yards. Not sure if he can. We'll see if he can get to that 1,000-yard mark. Again, Luke Yolich, that was with his 14th touchdown, shows Williams his second touchdown on the year. Williams came in 9 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Conrad with his second touchdown of the night, giving him 20 for the season.
Dolphin kickoff team. The Ninja gives it a boot.
Ninja.
Get there,
Boots
Jacob.
it, 3 guys back. Taken at the 20.
Woo!
Oh.
So little bobblage.
Yep. I think that was the Truth making the hit.
Yeah, Jacob Oldenmuth down early with a little arm tackle.
Oh, that
knocked
was
the ball loose a little bit, and the Truth came in.
Yeah, that was Malik Muhammad, who plays a little bit at tight end. He's their second-team All-City edge rusher, who collected that with a head of steam. And again, we saw them take a kickoff for a touchdown. So what I didn't get to on the halftime is at the 8A level, a lot of those programs are big suburban programs, but there's also another program out there that's hanging around in that 20 to 25 ranking. I'm going to tell you right after Roman got McFadden back in the game. There's the give to McFadden. Good job by Truth forcing it inside. Ooh. And then Scott Meir and Logan Jones. I think Truth getting a little
mixing it up a little bit.
Mixing it up a little bit over there with Joey Ruiz. Perspectives, who we won, beat down on the south side second week of the year, 44-14 or 41-14.
I wouldn't mind catching them at a 6-3 record.
Yeah, so they are hanging in that area. Last year, of course, we got the round one matchup against Kenwood. So again, there's a formula involved, but then a little bit of magic happens at IHSA about how those first round matchups start. All right, so Taft going to go into that Wildcat formation where they scored the touchdown in the first half. There's the pitch back to Roman. Roman looking deep. Top. Good coverage by Lynham. And just outside of the outreach hands of Alex Furtek out there. So the last time on that play, that was Likowski. Last time he kept it and took it to the house for a touchdown. This time flips it back to Roman. Lynham had decent coverage out there, but it was a good throw by Roman all the way across the field, just out of Furtek's reach. So 3rd and 5.
Efren Solano, Big Evil checking in at the nose guard. Logan Jones, 77. Agent 0, John Spellers.
Good to see Quinn Duhan.
It was good to see the Dolphin legend Quinn Duhan coming back to Chicago from South Bend, Indiana. As if that's a far drive. I mean, I don't know.
It's so good having these guys come back. So we've had some great interviews this year. Solomon Bradley and Ben Barrett last week talked to Anthony Hood and Juan Cepeda earlier in the season. I know a lot of the guys tune in across the country. There's a pitch over to McFadden. Max Warner out there.
Trying a quick out to Diesel. Nothing doing.
Taft going to bring their punt team on.
A little discussion going on with the Truth and maybe Maxwell with some Eagles.
Yeah, I think there's a little, maybe again, back to some of those discussions around the holidays. DeRoss back at the 25. Roman, we've seen some good kicks out of him. A little Aussie-style kicker. Being safe right now, Dolphins. There's the kick is away. Everybody getting away from it. And it is going to roll down to the 22-yard line where the Dolphins will take over. So, again, first possession of the second half here was a nice drive, big Warner run. And then capped off by a Williams touchdown pass from Conrad. I'll call that 10 yards. Taft now, a 3-and-out. Punts it. Whitney Young taking over at the 21. Again, that first drive after a little bit of a sketchy kickoff return. That first drive started around the 10-yard line, didn't it? Inside, it was definitely inside the 15.
Inside the 15, so maybe 88-yard drive.
Last week we got a couple 90-plus yard drives. Conrad, the quarterback, there's DeRoss in. He's looking DeRoss's way on the wheel. DeRoss up around the 40-yard line. Good job by the senior quarterback, Conrad, getting it out there to DeRoss. DeRoss on the year, doing a nice job. 10 catches, 145 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So that's his 11th catch on the year.
Some fresh faces checking in. I believe I saw 97 Cole Esquivel in the game, Barry.
Oh, yeah, he is. Here he is. He's the wide receiver on this side. So getting some different guys in there with Bardsmouth right now. There's Scott Meir in motion. Low snap, getting it over to Scott Meir. Scott Meir making some moves. Across. Liz Scott just put put a hit on a guy. It's like he's at the 4. He gets forward progress. I think they're going to give him a first down. So Rizgod, it was like a wrestling move. The guy had a single leg takedown on him. Another guy's coming up to hit him, and the Rizgod laid his shoulder into the dude.
Rizgod knows how to use leverage with his 104 pounds. He's just such a tough Rizgod.
8 yards
tough
on
zombie.
that. Oh, he went full-on zombie mode there. Man, that kid's fun to watch.
54, Del VR in with 56, Ben Miller.
Yep, 56 on his jersey, 36 on his ACT. 3 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Empty backfield for Conrad. Conrad looking across the middle. He's got a connection. Rizgod, Rayton Scottmere to the 30-yard line.
Kind of 4 vertical routes. Hits the Riz Zombie right in the seam, in stride.
Rayton Scottmere, Rizgod, Riz Zombie, Leatherman tool, Norwegian design, made in China, avoiding the tariffs. Rizgod, you can do it all. Scottmere again, man, that guy, 8 touchdowns again, receiving
no tariffs
so far this year
on the Riz Zombie.
Again, going to empty backfield. Although Conrad coming back to give it to Warner. Warner trying to get outside. He tackled for a huge loss. Really nice job on the outside, the left hand or right hand side of the Taft defense. I think that was number 90, Ethan Symbol. Ethan Symbol will give him credit for that. Big loss by Warner. He's still got 100 cracked for the night, but not many times we've seen lost yardage for Max Warner, but he got it there. Ball all the way back to the 40.
Count that as a pass? Count that as receiving yards?
Oh, we'd have to put it on the replay. Perhaps. There's the inside give to Warner. He's going to get it all back and more. He's in the outside. Warner to the corner. Chosen one. Touchdown! 40-yard touchdown from Maxwell Warner. He just left some guys in the dust on that one.
Wow. That track speed just coming through.
Holy cow. People. There's a reason he's going D1. Maxwell Warner. Holy cow.
Not much there at first. Evaded the first tackler. Second, kick to the outside.
I mean, it's even hard to get all the nicknames in when you're running that fast on a 40-yard run. Warner, the chosen one.
I still don't mind Uno
Touchdown.
as the secondary nickname also.
Hold is good. Kick is good. Snap was good. That's the only way it happens. The doctors.
5 for 5. Dr. Luze.
Wow. That was a heck of a run. I mean, again, it's hard to know how things translate at the next level, but good Lord, Maxwell Warner, what he has shown us this year.
And as we're out here, Barry, in the flight pattern, I think I see 3 runways working out here. I think we have another jet. The chosen one.
The chosen one
was in the pattern this evening.
The chosen one in the pattern. There's at least one. There's one person in control tower up there working air traffic control. They probably there was probably a little blip on the radar.
It was, yeah.
They couldn't pay attention to it though. Didn't have enough time.
It's always nice on a night like this to have a ninja kicking. He also likes to do kickoff coverage.
Short kickoff. Bounces.
Get there. Ball loose.
Bounces. Oh, good job in the middle. Hinkle eventually, but somebody else in there.
We had double L Logan Lopez.
Jacob Wildermuth was ready to light him up, but somebody tracked him on that. I thought he was going to get the hit. Yeah. All right, 35-7. Explosive plays tonight. I mean, Warner with 2 touchdown runs, 1 40-yarder, 1 65-yarder. Even I'm able to figure out that he's over 100 yards rushing. He had the 50-yard touchdown pass from Conrad to Barsma. Then you had the Joseph Gray 70-yard pick six. Williams with a touchdown reception from Conrad. That was also after a big run from Warner. Warner might be knocking on the door of 200 tonight. Roman, the quarterback, he's got McFadden next to him. Roman back to pass, gets it over, completed, and he gets to the corner. Here's another one of these. Devin Hinkle with a nice hammer to the sideline. Nice hammer on the sideline by Hinkle, but a good pickup. I don't know why. Why is there a problem? And the referees are saying exactly that. That was a good football play. Taft guys get all upset on the sidelines. Man, it was a good hit. Good hit on the sidelines. Good play. Good catch and run. I think that was Elian Torres with the hit. And yeah, it's going to happen on your sideline, but no reason to get all up in you. And that they actually did throw a flag on the end of that play. And I think rightfully so, because Hinkle makes a good tackle on the sidelines, and you had a bunch of Taft guys getting his face on the sidelines. There's some coaches talking. That was Ethan Simbel over there, who was in Hinkle's face after it. So good pickup, cross midfield, but then 15 yards marked backwards for Taft. Two receivers to the top, two to the bottom. McFadden next to Roman in the backfield. Snap, Roman looking deep. Spellers
zero
on the run. The truth gets him to the sidelines. There's some good sportsmanship over there. So Roman definitely able to make some plays with his feet. I think Kendall Lynham is on the ground. And then we got another post-play flag on the play.
Unsportsmanlike.
So we'll see what this is. This might have been, again, some of those Cultural Heritage Month discussions, and we'll see which way this goes. See which way this is going to head. But anytime you see something like that happen after the play, typically it's something that's set on the field. There's a dead ball foul. It's going against Whitney Young. So now they give those 15 yards back. Coach Finger's not going to be happy about that.
It was a debate going on the sideline kind of all night. Some of our secondary and linebacker players with the Taft team. And I don't think we won that part of the debate. I think we lost. We won one earlier, 15 yards, and now we're giving it back.
Dingfield checking into the lineup. Got some fans a little spicy over here. Wanted to call on Coach Finger. He was just over there talking to his player and then talking to the referees, signing some autographs.
He's just having fun out there in the field.
McFadden taking the handoff from Roman. Hand in the
there.
backfield. Nothing going on because Agent Zero on the tackle. MJ Woods on the bottom of that pile as well. Actually, that was Joseph Gray, football player. So, loss of 2. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Again, 35-7. Dolphins on top of the Eagles here in Week 9 of Chicago Public League action. Roman checking the wrist. Eagles going into a bit more of a passing mode here. Down. Roman under center, though. McFadden in the backfield. Double shift by the tight ends over to the right-hand side. Spellers also moves to that side as well. There's the give.
Wow.
Nothing going on. MJ Woods, the bull.
The bull Woods, 52, having a night.
Loss of 2 on that play. So McFadden, 2 carries. The last 2 carries, lost 2 on each of those. They tried to load up that right-hand side, but nothing going when you got MJ, the Bull Woods, on the line for the Dolphins. MJ, Big Country, Agent Zero. on the line. I did see, the dinger.
Yeah,
Lee Dingfield is in for Scottmere right now.
The last several games, our linebackers have been the standouts, but tonight I've got to give it up for the D-line.
Yep. And Devander Shoemaker on the corner.
Double L showing blitz.
Roman, 3rd and long here in Dolphin territory. Roman back to pass. Oh, Bennett DuRoss.
7.
Hit him right in the 7. But he read that nicely. All right, so they're trying to go to that quick hitter over the middle. DuRoss ranging up from his safety position. Almost got the 2nd interception of the night. Again, Joseph Gray's got a pick 6 from right about that neighborhood in the first half. 4th and long. Eagles would need to get it inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. 1:31 left here in the 3rd quarter. Again, senior night for the Taft Eagles. Came in at 2-6. Roman, senior quarterback. Diesel McFadden, senior running back. In the backfield, 2 receivers top, 2 to the bottom. Dolphins in a 3 safety look. Now they back off 4 guys in safety formation here. McFadden over to the right. Roman going to run this all the way. He's got spellers, and then he's hammered down by who? Joseph Gray, football player. Gray has just laid some licks this year, man. You think all the way back to that Morgan Park game when the quarterback was ranging out in the space there, 6'1", 221-pound quarterback.
Big quarterback.
That Joseph Gray just hammered. Roman not as big. Same result. 4 and out for the Taft Eagles.
Yeah, a little chilly out here. 43 degrees currently. Winds 8 miles an hour out of the west-southwest. Dew point down to 37 degrees.
All right. Dolphins take over. 1:23 left here in the 3rd quarter. Williams Scottmere to the top. Looks like Arlen Cooper to the bottom. There's ball tipped up in the air right off the line of scrimmage. It's actually Esquivel still in at wide receiver again. Bardsma out after a touchdown catch. Then was trying to get in on an end around, got dinged up. So Cole Esquivel, senior, getting some reps at wide receiver right now. So yeah, we'll find out on Saturday where we are next week. Always looking forward to some state action. We will find out as well. Maybe talk about it after this play. Warner lined up to Conrad's left. There's DuRoss to the right. There's a give to Warner. Warner with some room up the middle. Warner still on his feet. Warner hammers his way across the 35 out to the 38-yard line. First down for the chosen one.
Yeah, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Got to flip it over from Gilligan's Island.
Oh, always good.
Right over to the U, and then stay tuned for Brady Bunch.
Yeah, Brady Bunch. Just just saw a clip on that. Pork chops and applesauce.
Ain't that swell? I mean, we had some, the Conrad family brought over some schnitzel this week, and pork schnitzel, and we had some applesauce. I didn't know which one it was. They have 10 kids.
Conrad keeping it. Good blockers out there.
Go,
How about getting down now, VK? No, stay on your feet. Hammered him. VK5 lowers a shoulder into a half defender, gets across the 50-yard line.
VK5 thought he was the Riz guy.
I think we got Alex Oseshi with a nice little fun first down motion. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Vaughn. All right, man.
There gets playoff time coming up.
Yep. Conrad feeling it, man. Again, he's got 3 touchdowns on his career. He's put together. Maybe I'll go over. Let me get to my. We're just gonna run
into the 4th quarter.
Clock here, going over to the 4th quarter.
It's always interesting to see the chain gang do the machinations around this one when it's the 49-yard line, but they make sure to measure it and they flip around.
Yeah, they have a compass.
2 yards.
They have a compass.
They have the azimuth and an abacus also to figure out the angles, and they win it. They did it.
So back to the Brady bunch. There was a question, Mrs. Brady kind of had it made.
Mrs. Brady, okay,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
I mean,
Carol Brady.
Yeah, Carol Brady.
Mhm.
I mean, Mike was out there churning it out as
he's
the
just
architect, right?
Yeah.
Doing things.
Yeah.
But Alice was the maid.
Okay.
But Carol didn't have a
Alice was the
job.
maid. Yeah, that's true. I mean, and then
19.
how much did architects make in Southern California back then to afford that house?
Yeah, great
That's
house.
a pretty good gig.
Great house. Pork
And they
chops and apples.
He seemed to always, you see, he messing up his plans. Like his architect plans were always seemed to be at Six Flags.
I want to go through Von Conrad for his career. Again, coming in over 2,200 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns to add on to his 26 career touchdowns, so up to 28 passing touchdowns and 33 career touchdowns for VK5. 12 minutes left in the game. Scott Meir in motion. Von Conrad rolling to his right. He's got
There we go.
Scott Meir over there, or is that DuRoss?
DuRoss Bennett.
Good job by DuRoss. Lays out a defender on the sidelines across the 30-yard line. So the Dolphins came in that game against Lincoln Park, I think, a couple weeks ago. First time that I can recall that it was the Phillips game. A couple weeks ago. First time that I've seen us over 400 yards in offense. Tonight's got to be close because we know that Warner is close to 200 on a rushing night. And Conrad with that 50-yard pass to Bardsma, and then he's just been getting some big chunk plays. Off Riz God's hands. He's not happy about it. But Scott Meir's got some catches. DuRoss has got some catches. Bardsma has some catches. So VK5 probably pushing that 200-yard mark as well. So might have a high in total offense tonight for the Dolphins when things are all said and done. Again, tribute to the UN security force up front. Ben Miller, Adrian Del Villar in all night at that right guard position. MJ Woods, Logan Jones, and Alex Oshesky holding it down in the middle. There's the give to, good
nice
pass over to the side. There's DuRoss on his feet. DuRoss making his way for a first down, and I believe that was MJ Woods introducing himself to another Eagle defender. A little pancake block around the 10-yard line. Exchanging some pleasantries. First down at the 15-yard line. Dolphins rolling here.
Yeah, Coach Eddie's dialing up some different looks tonight.
Yeah, that is a play that we haven't seen. Or at least I haven't seen it, and I didn't even see that one because I was following it the wrong way. I was looking at the
far away.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks for
for me.
All right, Scott Meir. Woo! Looking for the corner. Scott Meir got the corner. Scott Meir pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. I think that's going to be a first down. Good job by the blocking on the left-hand side, and Rayton showing that Quinn Duhan-like Mach 5 speed. Got to the edge. Let's see. Yep, they're going to call it a first down, first and goal from the 5-yard line. How about a Ikunli Espinoza Allen touchdown here?
We'll love to see 33 baller get in the end zone.
2 receivers top and bottom. Sheldon Williams in motion to the top now. VK5 rolling that way. Oh, looking the other way. Big man touchdown. MJ Woods. MJ Woods to the end zone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Big man touchdown. Conrad to MJ Woods.
So that gives him 3 on the year?
2 touchdowns.
Okay, Big Country recovered the fumble in the end zone. Okay. So he has a defensive touchdown where he spiked it, and now a receiving touchdown where thankfully he didn't spike it.
Big man 52. Touchdown.
Although we call it a run.
No,
Is it a backwards pass? No.
I think it was forward.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see what the Godfather does. Dr. Luze.
Oh, no good. 41-7. All right, so I think in Dolphin lore, I mean, that play has been dialed up before. Jason Perez, I think that you're watching tonight. You'll have to tell me, was that the play? Was that the play? Jason Perez scored a touchdown. Jason, it was a touchdown. We saw it on the photos. It was up at Lane Stadium. Similar type of play. That one was a little back further off the line, and MJ Woods, he was gonna score that touchdown.
He was gonna score.
After he got it,
He was
gonna score that touchdown.
He saw that Eagles end zone and said, "I'm getting in there."
Oh man, having some fun here at Taft Stadium on the northwest side. Dolphins putting another one on the board, 41-7. Von Conrad.
Jameer Spencer, rather. The Dinger. 20 in the game. 18, the Fox. On this side, Brian Pantoja, and Agent Zero.
I think we're going to have to get the go deep in the roster at this point. I think we'll have some guys getting some time. That's Muhammad in the middle with it. Looking to get upfield. Joseph Gray putting a hit on him. So
Dolphins
Taft
and Eagles
going to take over at the 33-yard line.
Still having some dialogue around cultural things, it seems.
9:49 left here.
Okay, we do have Jacob Bolden with number 4 checking in, 73. Big Evil Efren Salama, 55 Big Country in the game. 14 Devander Shoemaker, 20 the Lee Dingfield, the Dinger, 31 Jameer Spencer.
Curran in the game at corner. Caden Curran.
19.
And Hinkle and Pantoja, I think, holding it down in the safety slots.
Yeah, we came up here, my first time here was 4 years ago, in the rain, and just quite an environment. Can be intimidating. So to see the Dolphins turn it around into this type of situation is pretty amazing.
Chin strap game in the first quarter has kind of turned into a rout here.
Jacob Oldermuth. There he is.
Woo! Going to give him a tackle for loss on that one.
And sounds like a WWE wrestling move or something. Good job, Jake. You got to wrap up, baby.
You got to wrap up and throw him backwards.
That's right.
Yeah. But nice job by Wildermuth again. Wildermuth had that big game against Phillips, where he was in the lineup for the Truth, and he was the most dominant defensive player in that game, and shot through his outside linebacker position. And
well, he told me he has
backfield.
that guy on his fantasy team, so maybe he wanted to get him the extra 2
he was trying to throw
he wanted
him.
the tackle.
Yeah, because he's got his IDP. He's got himself.
That's right.
Roman waiting for the snap here. 2 running backs behind him. There's the run up the middle. Nothing going on.
Big easy in there. Big country. A lot of big.
Yeah, a lot of big. I think that looked like Abel Kauk on the carry, senior running back. I'm sure that Taft can try to make sure that they get their seniors
I think we
opportunity
have
to touch the ball here. Again, their last game of the season.
Diesel McFadden has seemed to have checked out after a great career.
Yep. And again, he'll be playing down at Illinois State, Peoria.
I think
Normal.
Sounds right.
Yes.
Bloomington Normal.
Roman, the quarterback.
19. Passing situation.
2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Roman been under some duress here in the second half. Inside give. Tackled over there. I'm not going to know. I think that was the Dinger. Ding the bell.
For the nice hit. Dolphins set the edge.
Taft, punt team on. Again, Dolphins with some exciting plays tonight. Max Warner, couple touchdown runs. Bardsma, touchdown catch. Williams, touchdown catch. Joseph Gray, pick 6. And MJ Woods, touchdown catch. on the last drive. There's Roman getting the punt away. Gonna roll dead close to the 30-yard line. That was Hinkle back deep.
Yeah, just a really nice night for the Dolphins. Both sides of the ball. Maybe their most complete game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think you're going to have rushing and passing totals both in that 200 range. Now we're getting some of the other guys checking in. So Big Evil on the line checking in. Jacob Wildermuth. Wildermuth's got a catch this year. All right, Wildermuth, one catch.
One
See
reception.
if you get another one. See if Conrad still at the helm. Senior quarterback going to keep it rolling here. Looks like for the most part that line is staying the same, but Big Evil Efren Solano in. Looks like he's actually playing going to play a guard position. Big Country staying at center. Esquivel, the receiver, this side. That's Jameer Spencer in motion. Oh, that was didn't quite know what was going on there. It was actually Ryan Jones who was in motion. So either Jones or Esquivel was supposed to catch that little quick out. Both of them they're so selfless. They were so selfless they wanted to both block.
They wanted, yeah.
Next time somebody needs to catch the ball, though. Arlen Cooper in the game. 6:19 left here.
Nice to see 88. Michael Irvin or
Swervin Irvin.
C.D. Lamb Cooper for the more modern kids.
So Esquivel, and again, a lot of big plays from Ryan Jones in the JV games this year. There's the give. That's Jameer Spencer. Woo. Spencer all the way across the 45-yard line. First down. I think there's some cheering because Roman made the tackle. So the Taft fans were enjoying their senior quarterback getting some time in the defensive backfield. I think the coach is coming over talking to him. So Roman, again, great career here with the Taft Eagles. But that was a nice run by Jameer Spencer. I think his first run of the year. I think now we have the Fox. I think the Fox is in the backfield. There's a give to Fox. Fox still working his way, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but some good tackles. I think we got a lot of cheers coming up. I think that Taft definitely has some seniors in who maybe don't get a ton of action, so they're getting some time here late in the fourth quarter of their final varsity game.
Some newer numbers in for the Dolphins.
Big number 67, Nathan Dominguez in on the D-line for Taft.
6'7".
There he is. Wildermuth Cooper to the top. Conrad going to pass it. A little low. That's all on Conrad. My God.
Trying to get his friend the ball.
Come on, Conrad. This guy. We're giving way too much credit tonight.
VK5.
VK whatever. Get it to Jacob Wildermuth. Come on, man. Put it somewhere where you can catch it. Just kidding here. Conrad Family Singers. We know you're out there.
Trashing around. You don't want to wake up in the morning and there are like 10 kids standing outside your house.
Yeah.
They're probably singing.
Yeah, absolutely.
They might be mad also.
Well, how mad are they going to be? And what are they going to do if they're mad? They're going to sing. They're going to make you. Fox, the running back. Fox, the carry. Fox to the outside. Fox to the secondary. Fox to the first down across the 40-yard line. Good run. Again, he had a 2-touchdown day against Phillips with the blocked punt touchdown as well as a rushing touchdown late in that game. Coach Finger trying to Coach Boucher and Finger keeping us on our toes right here with a lot of different skill position guys in. I think we might also have, Max Tunk, he of the number 6'7", Max Tunk in the game on the offensive line.
88 Arlen Cooper.
I think Spencer is the running back next to VK5. Spencer with the carry. Actually, no, we had I think it was the backup QB was in.
Zhang? I didn't catch the number. Yeah, I think
Aiden
we did.
Zhang,
Yeah,
the alphabet.
Aiden Zhang, A to Z. I guess he's had some nice JV action this year.
Yep, he definitely has. So the alphabet in at quarterback. Von Conrad checks out after a 3-touchdown night, hooking up with Williams, with Bardsma, and MJ Woods. You heard it right. So senior quarterback adds to his touchdown totals. Conrad, 21 passing touchdowns, 23 total touchdowns on the year. So Zhang in at quarterback. He's got a receiver to the top, 3 to the bottom. Waiting for the snap here. Ball at the 47-yard line. 2:54 left here. High snap. Gets it down. Spencer working to the outside. Spencer to the corner. Spencer, good
nice
block out there.
Woo.
Spencer out to the 35. That was Arlen Cooper holding up a nice block on the outside. Got some other guys in the game right now. McKinley Williams. McKinley Williams in the game on the offensive line. Tim Edwards, Dr. Edwards getting some offensive reps here.
44 had a nice contributing block on that play.
So Zhang in at quarterback. 2:10 left here. Got 3 receivers to his top, 1 to the bottom. Spencer running back behind him. Zhang letting that play clock get down. Zhang waiting for the snap, gets it, gives it to Spencer. Spencer up the middle. Nothing going on there. Runs into the waiting arms of number 71, Jaden Camacho.
See some younger Dolphins getting action. 4th down, 1:40 to go.
Ball at the 36-yard line. 4th down. I think Coach Finger might be taking a timeout here. Well, maybe a timeout. I think a timeout by the
10.
Eagles.
Maybe trying to get some extra, get the players in for the final plays of their season and career. Some for their career.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the Taft fans. It's always fun to come up here. I saw, I think I mentioned on the open, I saw Steven Carrera's mom, Dallas Carrera. She does a lot with the Taft Booster Club. They got a lot of fun social media stuff that goes on. And again, this team, Zach Elder and this team, they will be back in the Chicago Public League and state playoffs soon. I think it was just one of these things this year where couldn't quite put it together. But they'll be back. Dolphins back into the state playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year and 4 out of the last 5. Again, Dolphins got a first-round win over Kenwood last year in 7A. Classes changed this year, so they'll move up to 8A. A lot of things like everybody, Lincoln Way East, again, had their 2nd loss. Last week they lost to Naperville North, and they had a game last night against Sandburg. So Jonas Williams, their 5-star quarterback, heading to USC. He's been out the last 2 weeks. And they've lost both of those games, which kind of, if he's back, I mean, I heard that, so Dolphins just going to take a knee there and give the ball over to Taft. Solid move of sportsmanship by Coach Finger.
Pretty well done victory formation by the non-starters in there.
Aiden Fusey checking in on D-line. Emilio Bracco in as well. Edwards stays in on D. The Ninja getting a little D time at the linebacker slot along with the Dinger, Lee Dingfield. Alex Estrella in as well. Yanni Luze. Luze getting a little bit of D-back reps right now.
Doctors can play defense too.
Roman.
Caden Curran at the corner. Alliteration.
Roman talking to a few of his guys. I think they're just, he needed to get them all squared away as where he wanted them on the line. This is the wedge formation here. Not sure if they're also
I don't know if that's a legal formation, but it was fun. Jacob
Good job, Wildermuth. Little PBU. pass broken up there. Yeah, you're right. It was the wedge. I don't know. Maybe it was the correct amount of guys in the backfield. Again, some of these guys coming on for Taft getting a big round of applause. Donato Sarli comes in, senior linebacker coming in on the offensive side of the ball. So him running. There's literally the sideline is chanting for him. So you always get some of this stuff. Guys that have been on the team for 4 years maybe don't get a lot of reps in the game, but fun for them to get in there in their last high school game. Ball resting at the 41-yard line. We've got a 1:20 left in the game. 2 receivers stop for Roman. I think they're going to give a handoff to that guy, which is he's got a nice job around the outside. Dinger pushes him out of bounds, but great to see that.
I always like to see 54
Donato Sarli.
carry
Yep,
the ball.
Donato Sarli gets it. I mean, just keep the ball, man. You don't even know what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
So throws it back to the ref. But yeah, he's fired up. He's fired up. Got that give to the right-hand side. Had some blocking out there. Got a nice 7-yard run for him in the books. He's going to remember that. He's going to be telling that to his grandchildren.
Yes.
So that's cool.
He had a varsity rush, successful rushing attempt.
So he's at the Sarli now at the fullback position. Got Ellis next to Ellis. Gets the carry.
Nothing doing.
Not at all. That was
Tim Edwards in.
Yeah, and also the Ninja
there.
Pantoja, I think, teamed up on that tackle.
Fourth
Clock
down,
is running.
Eagles.
Taft's going to try to get one more play in here.
One final play.
In 15 seconds left, I think maybe they'll give it to Sarli again. Running back is next to, yep, there he goes.
Woo,
he gets it, and the Ninja is just going to say, nah, not this time. And that is going to end the game here. Dolphins with a big win, 41-7 over Taft. Week 9, Chicago Public League ends the regular season. Now we get into that sacred time of the year. So first round,
8-1.
First 8-1. So again, this team last year finished 12-2. So 20-3 over the last 2 years for Coach Finger. I can even do this math. 29-5, 20. I think 9-4, right? 9-4 in that season before that. So just on a heater. Coach Finger and the Dolphins on a heater here the last 3 years. So they're going to be making their third straight IHSA playoff appearance. We'll find out who and what that's against. Again, the way that goes, week 1 is a state playoff game for everybody. Depending on what happens, week 2 is second round state playoffs, first round city playoffs. So if you lose in the first round of the state playoffs, there will be a city playoff game waiting for you. There are lots of different scenarios out there because I think you're going to have at least 8 Chicago Public League teams that are going to qualify for the state playoffs. So it kind of gets made up on the fly because one, you need an even number of teams to match up in games, and then like last year, you had the Dolphins with a first-round win over Kenwood, second-round loss when we made that trip down to Bradley Bourbonnais. But then they went back into the city playoffs, right? So they were against Amundsen in what was then the second round of the city playoffs, and then that moved them on to the championship game
Finals.
that they beat the holders. They are now the holders. Dolphins, again, 2 years ago were in the city championship against Kenwood. It came up short in that. Last year won the city championship. So again, this year without a doubt, we have 2 weeks of football in front of us, but hopefully many more, right? I mean, hopefully, again, if you look at what can happen, you can go Chicago Public League champion then plays in the Prep Bowl, right? So we were playing, or if you're on the state side and you go all the way, that weekend, that Thanksgiving weekend is when the state championship games go on, and the Prep Bowl goes on as well. So we've got a lot in front of us. Hoping Miles Barsma is okay. Again, he had a touchdown catch tonight, but he was the one injury that we'll be concerned about. But beyond that, just a great regular season for head coach Dan Finger, offensive coordinator Eddie Boucher. Again, Coach O.D. Connor O'Donnell on the defensive side. I mean, they gave up that wildcat formation keeper for the touchdown, and that was, the game was knotted in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But Dolphins, behind some explosive plays, behind a guy like Maxwell Warner, really put the pedal to the metal after that. All right, Blake's got me some final stats here. So that is Blake. Love you, man. Thanks, buddy. So let's see. Maxwell Warner on the day, 12 carries, 176 yards
close
rushing.
To 200.
Yep. So that was close to 200. And then Warner had, let's see, we had 2 touchdown runs out of Max, right? We sure did. Yep, so Warner with the 40-yarder and then the 65-yarder. These are unofficial stats.
Young Blake doing a good job.
Blake doing a good job. Conrad, 3 carries, 18 yards, including one where he lowered his shoulder. Gray, 3 carries, 23 yards. Again, big time on one of those touchdown drives. Fox ends the day with 3 carries for 35 yards, including a nice 18-yarder on that. Aiden Zhang, 1 for -7, but that was just, in cleanup time. Jameer Spencer also with a nice run. He with 2 carries for 14 yards. Let's flip on over. Conrad ends the day 14 for 26, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, yeah, I think definitely Dolphins over 400 yards, well over 400 yards on the night. So their biggest offensive output on the season. Again, Vaughn Conrad doing the job tonight. 3 touchdown passes. Scott Meir, 6 catches, 76 yards. Bardsma, 3 for 60 in the tutty. DuRoss, 3 catches, 46 yards. Espinosa Allen in the box score with a catch for 11 yards. Sheldon Williams, 1 catch, 9 yards, 1 touchdown. And big man, look at this. MJ Woods gets a question mark. MJ Woods, 2-yard touchdown catch. So there we have it. That's a good way to start our weekend. Lots of football action ahead, but tune in and or stop by, right? Jack Wildermuth. Wildermuth's having a party.
Montana Street Party tomorrow night.
So we'll be watching for that Dolphins matchup. Maybe just to note, if you're still hanging on with us, we'll see. We might be on the YouTube network as usual. We're certainly hoping that we'll be here. Honestly, we usually get our games picked up by NFHS, partially to all of your credit. They know that you will tune in, and so I think that they know that you'll have to. We might be pay-per-view next week, but anyway, we'll be on one way or another next week, probably at Rockney, but we'll see how that all turns out. Our thanks to our hosts at Taft tonight. Thanks to head coach Zach Elder getting us set up over here. But then again to Principal Ricky Harris, Whitney Young named by U.S. News & Report one of the best high schools in the nation this week. Athletic Director Chris Cassidy, and, of course, head coach Dan Finger, and the Godfather, Tony McHale. Thanks a lot, everybody. Jack, thanks for riding shotgun tonight.
Go Dolphins.
All right, go Dolphins.
Woo.